Hello, welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key. We are live for Botafogo against Palmeiras, or rather, it's Palmeiras against. Sorry, it's Botafogo against Palmeiras in the. Oh, it's Palmeiras against Botafogo. I've got it right the first time. It's Palmeiras against Botafogo in the Club World Cup. Sorry, all over the place. Palmeiras against Botafogo in the Club World Cup. Really looking forward to this one. I'm really not sure what to make of it today. I'm really not sure what to make of this one. Two teams who have been a little bit up and down throughout the competition. Somehow they've made it through to the knockout stage. But looking forward to it all the same. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your predictions in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking of the tournament in general. We've still got the big game to come tonight. England against Germany, under-21s, championship final. Euro under-21s final tonight, 8 o'clock. So we've got this one first, and then that straight after it. So let me know what you're thinking in the chat. We'll obviously be doing polls. We'll be doing questions. I have got, well, I guess something of an announcement. We've got a competition coming up anyway. But if you fancy winning some, the very, very first, hot off the press, limited edition Premier League Dad merch, very, very first. We've got some. So I'm gonna be offering up competitions over the next month or so in July, certainly to get your hands on one of them if you do want one. But yeah, listen, we've got loads of footy coming up over the time still then, and a massive thank you to everyone that's contributed. But in the meantime, I do just want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Match Bingo. Match Bingo continuing to sponsor Premier League Dad and all of our lives for the foreseeable. If you haven't yet gone and downloaded Match Bingo, please go and do so. You can do so via the link in my description, or you can scan the QR code, which is on screen right now. Match Bingo is an innovative and genius new app that combines all the fun and excitement of a bet on the football with all the fun and excitement of a game of bingo. You can buy your bingo card for a game like this one, and the way that it works is you get a bingo card with 15 random events on them. On the app, you'll see it on your phone. 15 random events, and it'll be things like Palmeiras free kick or Botafogo corner, and as those things happen during the game, you'll see them marked off on your bingo card. You can win prizes for a line, prizes for 2 lines, and prizes for a full house, the same way you do in bingo. And yeah, you can win yourself a small fortune. It makes it a lot more fun, I think, and it's a really cool and exciting new thing that Match Bingo have brought to the table. They're growing incredibly quickly, over 10,000 UK players, and yeah, they've paid out over 200 grand in prize money as well so far, and growing incredibly quickly day by day. So go and check them out. Go and download the app. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your feedback. If it's not for you, if betting's not for you, that's absolutely fine. That's not your thing. But if you do like a bet, I think you'll like it. I've got my bingo card for this one. Go and get yours. And yeah, let me know what you're thinking. You can help support the channel too by downloading the app. So thanks again to all those that have. And with that said, let's get live on everywhere else. Daz Reynolds, what's your prediction for this game? Predictions, I would say, I don't know, maybe 2-2. 2-2. They've been quite high scoring with the South American teams, haven't they? Yeah, they've been quite high scoring. So yeah, I'm thinking it might be a high scoring draw, and maybe it goes to extra time and penalties. I hope that's not the case, by the way, because you know we've got England and Germany not long after it. So I don't really know what to make of this one. I'm just hoping that it's wrapped up fairly quickly and we get a bit of good football, because look, you all know my views on the Club World Cup. You know how I feel about the Club World Cup. I've said it many times. I think it's a jumped up pre-season tournament. It's basically, at this point anyway. Maybe once we get into the latter stages, which we are now, maybe it starts to become a bit more interesting. And maybe this is going to be one of those games. Maybe we'll see something a bit different with Palmeiras and Botafogo, but I am not holding out too much hope. If I am dead honest, I'm not holding out too much hope. The game is live on DAZN, by the way, for those who are interested, for those who are watching along. SLS, oh, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for sending that through. I really appreciate that. I've just seen that come through. Sorry. Big thank you to you for sending that through, mate. Jonathan Guzman, I'll be at the Chelsea v Benfica game today. No way, Jonathan, that's so cool. That's wicked. SLS 16, Germany for the win. Yeah, I think so. I think Germany have got it tonight. I think Germany win it tonight. I'm not going to say sadly, but I do think Germany win it tonight against England, yeah. R10, hi, how's it going? Good to see you, mate. SLS, what's your predictions? My prediction for this one is 2-2. 2-2. Desmond, 2-2. Jonathan, is the Euros Under-21 final today? It is, yes, it is. It starts at 8 p.m. UK time, so I'm guessing maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, your time, if you're here at the Lincoln Financial Field, where this is. Although you're not, are you? You're at Benfica Chelsea, aren't you? Well, listen, mate, enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you're there today, Benfica and Chelsea, I'm sure it'll be absolutely brilliant. And enjoy the game, yeah. Come on. Right, here we go. I'm just putting a poll up on YouTube. Howard Moon, listen, mate, enjoy it, enjoy it. Jonathan Guzman, Pedro Neto is going to cook today, lads. I just know it. It's probably a fair assessment. Hang on a second. Right. But thank you. No problem, mate. Listen, good to... We've got someone on the ground, haven't we? We've got someone on the ground. NRML, to be honest, Benfica is winning tonight. Chelsea is playing really bad now. To be honest, Benfica weren't great. I mean, I didn't think they were great against Bayern, to be honest. But we shall see. We shall see. Howard Moon, thoughts on this Monaco super team? Would we say it's a super team? What, signing Fati and Pogba? Nah, I don't think that's a super team. The best player is still Takumi Minamino, as far as I'm concerned. Jonathan Guzman, I haven't kept up with the Euros. Who's been the stars so far? In the Under-21 Euros, I would say the stars, certainly for England, have been Harvey Elliott, Amari Hutchinson. I would say for Germany, it's been Voltemade, Viper. You could maybe throw in Brown and Akabolu in that as well. The goalkeeper's been all right. But yeah, no, I would say for England it's Harvey Elliott and Amari Hutchinson. Maria Luis, Benfica, Chelsea prediction. Jackson B. Smith, will Chelsea win today? I think Chelsea qualify. I'm not sure if they win, full time in terms of 90 minutes, but I think they do qualify, yeah. I am Kroot, Fati, Pogba, Minamino 5 years ago would have been a great front line. I know I've forgotten someone. Well, there's Akliouche as well. Whether or not Akliouche stays at Monaco, that's another question. Yeah, Akliouche, a very good player. I still think Isak happens. I really do. Yeah. Joe, as a Cov fan, I can't wait for the bumper sell-on fee. Yeah, well, I don't know if you do get a sell-on fee, do you? Do you get a sell-on fee? Don't think you do. Akliouche is my little cousin. Jackson, cheers for the follow. Howard, what happened to Balogun at Monaco? Didn't they spend 40 on him like a year ago? Yeah, they did, didn't they? They did spend quite big on him. And to be honest, there was lots of rumours that Balogun was going to come to the Premier League. Now, he is still at Monaco. He's just not quite... He's still only young, obviously. He didn't have a terrible season last year. He just didn't quite light the league up. I think he was injured quite a bit. If you consider that, I think he was at... When he was at... Was it Reims he was at when he played? He got 22 in 39 at Reims. And I'm just seeing here, he got 8 goals in his first 32 games for Monaco, which are a bit disappointing. And then last season, he got 4 in 16. So, yeah, I think there's maybe another move forthcoming for Balogun, because he's had quite a lot of injuries in the last 12 months. He is a decent young player, but there was a lot of interest in him barely 18 months ago, and all of a sudden it shows how quickly a career can fall off, that, doesn't it? 20% for Gyökeres. No, surely not. Surely not. No, they don't. They don't earn a penny. They don't earn a penny. There you go. Coventry will not earn money from Victor Gyökeres transfer despite agreeing sell-on clause. The Sporting star has been heavily tipped for a big money move. Blah, 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 blah. It was thought that Coventry would benefit from any such business. And in November, Sky Blues owner Doug King told TalkSport they had a sell-on agreement with Sporting. However, a portion of any fee would also go to the Seagulls. But this is no longer the case. This is no longer the case. The West Midlands outfit have waived their right to a potential transfer windfall. They've waived it. I wonder why they would do that. Oh, there you go. That's what happened. Basically, they were due 10%, mate, but Coventry have sold their sell-on clause. Coventry basically decided to say to Brighton, listen, we'll give you our sell-on clause when that happens, but you give us some money now. So they sold whatever they would have got from this. They've cashed it early. Whatever money they would have got, they'd have already had. So Coventry have, they'll miss out. They won't get anything from Gyökeres. Tangerine Wizard in Oz. Alright, lad, good to see you. How's it going, mate? Pedro, excited for this one. Probably going to see a red or two. I am Crew. Who's your three to come up from the Championship this season? Ipswich, definitely. Southampton, I'm relatively confident on. So Ipswich, Southampton, I think third. Ooh, I'd love to see someone like Blackburn or maybe Bristol City or even, do you know what, even Millwall just for shits and gigs, but I don't think they will. I think it's far more likely that we see Sheffield United. I don't think Leicester will. I think it's going to be between Ipswich, Southampton, and then the third could be Sheffield United, maybe even... Nah, I think Sheffield United with Ruben Sellers. I can't look past them. Tangerine Wizard, I'm out here in Oz doing goal recreations if you're interested. Nice. Yeah, go for it. Dream Chasers boss, Freddie Woodman, understandable for sure for Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, he's a young goalkeeper. Or was once a young goalkeeper, very, very highly rated, but sadly, it didn't quite pan out for him at the highest level. But he's still English. He's still experienced. I would say that he's a good and astute signing for Liverpool. Razine, how are you, mate? Vitor Roque is starting. Is he starting? Let's have a look. I'll see. 3-star Reds, afternoon, mate. Hope you and fellow subscribers are on this fine summer's afternoon. Yes, good, mate. Really good, thank you. Hopefully you are too. Good to see you. Kieran, how are you? I'm not so... I don't know, mate. I'm not great. I said to you yesterday, I kept feeling like lightheaded and a bit dizzy and stuff at times. I still feel like that today. I don't know why it is. I don't know where it's come from, but yeah. Feeling a bit funny. Definitely feeling a bit funny today. 3-star Reds, cannot see Leicester. Reckon they're in for a points deduction. Yeah, I can't see Leicester either. I can't see Leicester doing it either. Let's have a look at the lineups. We'll go through them shortly. So, yeah, Vitor Roque is starting. So, Palmeiras have got Weatherton up front. Guille, Gomez, Bruno Fuchs and Piquerez at the back. Martinez and Allen in midfield with Estevao, Rios, Mauricio and then Vitor Roque up front. For Botafogo, it is John Victor in goal, Alex Telles left back, Barbosa, Jair, Vitinho at the back. Jair, of course, who has just signed for Nottingham Forest, by the way. Interested to see how he gets on. Danilo Barbosa in midfield with Marlon Freitas and Allen, ex-Everton midfielder, of course, Allen in midfield. Then left, it's Savarino. Right, it's Arter. And up front is the other Nottingham Forest new signing, Igor Jesus, who has done very, very well in this competition. He got a goal against PSG, the winner, and he got the winner against Seattle. I think he got the winner against Seattle, didn't he, as well? Yeah, so he's already got 2 match winners in this competition, Igor Jesus. Connor, thank you for sending those through. Connor, really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Caleb, are you excited for the final later? I'm very excited. That's the one I'm looking forward to. If I'm dead honest, mate, you know I've talked about this tournament many times. If I'm dead honest, I'm not made. I'll probably, if I didn't have the channel, I probably would have watched this game. I probably would have watched it. But I'd have been tuning out. I'd have been like sat on my phone and tuned out. It's not something I'm mega excited about this game. I know it's football, but my God, it's basically a friendly, isn't it? It's a friendly. Jaden, Newcastle rumoured with Rashford. Now that would be interesting. That would be interesting. So we've just seen that Newcastle have had a bid rejected for James Trafford from Burnley. Also, by the way, I've just seen that, obviously, Man United got the bid rejected for Mbeumo yesterday. So what do we think happens with that now? 3-star red, thank you for that good news. Jair missed that today. Yeah, I was going to say Jair and Igor Jesus both signed for Forest. I mean, I don't know when they join, but apparently it's after the tournament. Kieran Baines, hope for a quick recovery, mate. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that. I don't know what it is. I didn't really sleep all that well last night, but I think it's just how hot it is at the minute. No one's really sleeping all that well at the minute, are they? It's boiling hot. It's absolutely boiling hot. GB, 1.1k likes. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I am Crute. Third choice keeper for a Big Six Prem club. Must be the best job in the world. Jonathan, who do you think's winning? Botafogo or Palmeiras? I couldn't pick a winner. I think it'll be maybe a 2-2. And it'll be decided maybe in extra time or pens. Pedro Lover, you're really not excited about the World Cup? The World Cup I am. The World Cup I'm excited about. This isn't the World Cup, Pedri Lover. This isn't the World Cup. This is the Club World Cup. The World Cup's brilliant. This is not brilliant. Matters, what's going on with Eze? Well, apparently he's agreed terms with Arsenal. Apparently he's agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Yeah. J-Docs, yo, you good, bro? I'm alright, mate. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. Jackson B. Smith, Liverpool should be in the Club World Cup. They can't be. Yeah, they can't be. I agree, it's not really a Club World Cup without one of the best teams in Europe, but yeah, they couldn't have been in the Club World Cup. They couldn't have been in it. Jonathan Guzman, I thought Eze was going to Spurs. Well, there's talk of Spurs. There's talk of Spurs. There's talk of Arsenal. There was talk of Bayern at one point as well, wasn't there? Three-star red, just hope now we have these two lads. Today's match does not turn into a kicking match against the two rivals. Yeah, you don't want them getting injured and rocking up, do you? Right, there you go. We've started a poll. We've started a poll on YouTube. Let me know what you're thinking. No Skill Aaron, will you be watching England over Chelsea later? Pff, of course I will. Of course I will, mate. You don't think for 1 second I am choosing this absolute nonsense tournament over over an actual competitive tournament such as the England under-21s final. Absolutely no chance. Be yourself, Dylan. Hey, Dylan, how's it going? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Pedro Lover, I do agree with you. The qualifying system for this comp is a bit weird. Jonathan Guzman, I will say this. Botafogo's chance to make a name for themselves. A lot of us already know Palmeiras. Baz, what channel is the Palmeiras game on? It's on DAZN, Baz. You can watch it on DAZN, DAZN. You can download the app, DAZN. You can download it free and watch it for free. Or you can watch it on their website for free. It's all free. Yeah, it's all free. You just need to go and download the app. No worries, mate. It'll cost you a follow. If you want to be sound about it, just give us a follow up there. Either way, but nice to have you on the channel anyway. Ben cannot believe that John Duran is already leaving Saudi. He'll score at least 30 next year for Fener. Well, he's leaving. You've got to acknowledge he's leaving in part. I feel like if he wasn't leaving Saudi, he'd probably be coming back to the Premier League, wouldn't he? But he can't come back to the Premier League. That's the problem. I think if he was available to Premier League clubs, someone would have snatched him up. Honestly, I'd have taken him at Liverpool. But if he comes back to England, all of that tax-free cash, that lovely tax-free cash that he's earned in Saudi, he has to give a load of it away. England, because he's left England and come back within like 12 months, he has to give it all. He gets taxed on it. He gets taxed on his earnings. So that's what his agents and everyone else have just said, listen, there's absolutely no way we're going back to England. Just let's just make sure we go somewhere else for a couple of years, and then maybe we go back to the Premier League. The old Jordan Henderson route back from Saudi. It's kind of like what Gerrard's doing. Gerrard's doing exactly the same. Gerrard was out in Saudi earning big bucks, and it's kind of noteworthy, I would say, that he's not immediately come back and got a manager's job in England or worked in England, isn't it? He's still just kind of finding his feet. And maybe in another two, to be honest, how long has it been since Gerrard left Al Ettifaq? He'll probably end up coming back to England and managing in another 12 months or so. Cheers, Baz. That's good to hear, mate. No skill, Aaron. Why can't he come back? Why does he get taxed if he made it somewhere else? That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. It's if you're within a country for a certain number of days, your earnings are taxed based on it's the same. It's the same pretty much worldwide, but with the UK, if he came back to live and work in England, he would have to pay a massive amount of his Saudi tax towards them. Yeah. So the UK government would take. So that's why Jordan Henderson hasn't rushed back. That's why Steven Gerrard probably hasn't rushed back. That's why John Duran is taking the long detour back through Europe, through some more sympathetic tax countries, I would imagine. Ben, I thought the Saudis taxed them no matter who they left to go to if inside first 2 years. No, at least that's not my understanding with the Saudi tax system, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's slightly different with John Duran, but I do know that he would owe some to the UK government if he came back. So, yeah, we'll see. Pedro Lover, I think they should add qualifying games to the World Cup, just like the Nations one. Be yourself, Dylan. Usyk v Dubois is on July 19th. Do you watch boxing? I don't, mate, really. No, I'm not really a lover of boxing. And to be honest, the problem with boxing, with me anyway, is it's usually on in the early hours of the morning, innit? And I can't do early hours of the morning. Non-starter for me with the epilepsy and stuff, so it's a non-starter. Samuel, did you see that meme that we said we still have Super Classico at the airport after Boca Juniors and River Plate both got eliminated? I didn't know. Well, that's quite cool, isn't it? Samuel, finally a decent match in the Club World Cup. We're about to kick off here now. No skill, Aaron. How much has he earned in that small period, though? Well, I'll tell you. He has earned So he was on 350k a week after tax, and he's been there since, was it January he moved? Right, we're off anyway. We're off and underway. Let me get the clock going. Yeah, so he's been there since January. So at the very, very bare minimum, he will have earned 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Right, so he'll have earned the best part of 7 million quid. Tax-free. 7 million quid. And there's an argument to say that if he comes back to the UK, he'd probably have to pay about 3.5 of that back to the UK taxes. So, you know, that's the challenge. That is the challenge. If he goes back to the UK within 6 months, he probably owes 3.5 million quid of the 7 million that he's earned in Saudi. Ballpark, obviously. Ballpark figure. There's always ways and stuff these agents and tax companies make sure to do things to move things around, but there's still a very limited amount that they can, you know, proportion away. Ultimately, they still have to pay it. So that's why he'll have gone somewhere else. I'm sure that'll have been at least a factor in his decision, because there'll have definitely been English teams interested in taking John Duran back. He had one of the best goals per minute ratio of all Premier League strikers. Over a long, long time as well. You know, he's a very, very talented player. Just for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out in Saudi. And, yeah, on your bike. No, Scalara and Saudi should 100% have clauses to prevent this kind of stuff, to be honest. How can they have a player just take 7 million from them in 6 months and then leave back to Europe? Thing is, mate, it's pocket change to him. It's absolute pocket change to him in the grand scheme of things. They're not bothered. They're literally not bothered. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you. Just sent that through. DC, massive thank you for you sending that. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Spencer Richardson, are you watching Palmeiras? Yes. Yeah, we're watching Palmeiras against Botafogo. It's 0-0 currently. We're only 2.5 minutes in. Ostermorg, I would have taken him for the season at Liverpool. I would have loved him at Liverpool. Yeah, to be honest, you know, I've been saying for... Oh, that's a naughty tackle, ref. Whoa, could be a red here early on. No, it's just a yellow. Woo, 2.5 minutes in, very, very nearly. Ref saying, get away, what are you doing? He flew into him then, didn't he? Christ. Whew, yeah, you're not in Brazil anymore, sunshine. These referees are card happy. Oh, he kind of pulls out a little bit, but it's two-footed, that, from Barbosa. It's two-footed. He's got to know better. Kyle S, will you be watching the Women's Euros? Yes, yeah, we will be watching the Women's Euros. No Scalara and Osimhen and Duran will be United strike force soon. Can't see it. DC, who is playing later? Later is England against Germany. Sorry, my mind went. England against Germany in the under-21 Championship, UEFA Championship final. That's kicking off at 8 PM. But there's also Chelsea against Benfica in this FIFA Club World Cup. That kicks off at 9. So what we'll probably end up doing, if I'm dead honest with you lads and lasses, whoever's watching, what we'll probably end up doing is we'll watch this game, we'll watch the England-Germany game, and then as soon as that is finished, we'll probably switch over to the Chelsea game. So if you want to stick with me, you can watch the Chelsea game as well with us. And a massive, massive thank you to those that have already liked and subscribed on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, please make sure you've gone over to YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe as well. Spencer Richardson, just checking because I'm on MotoGP game, so you're my live commentary. All right, no worries, Spencer. I'll keep you updated. Richard Rios is down currently for Palmeiras after getting smashed by Barbosa there with a bad tackle. Looks like he caught him as well, so it looks like he might have to go off here. We've had a bad injury inside the opening 4 minutes. Kyle, do you reckon the women's Euros will be better than the under-21s? I don't think so. I mean, entertainment-wise, I don't think so. We'll have a tall order to beat the under-21s. The under-21s have been brilliant. And the under-19s, to be honest. So, yeah, and it's nothing to do with the women's game. It's just, I don't think the under-21s and the under-19s have been two of the best tournaments I have seen for a long, long time. So, yeah. So, I would say it's unlikely. It's very unlikely. DC, easy win for Benfica then. Absolutely. No skill Aaron, are you back in England to win later? No, I've actually put Germany to win. Yeah, I've backed Germany to win. I'm a traitor. I'm a traitor to my country. I've backed Germany to win. I think Germany are just far too good. Yeah, far too good. Kyle S, is it true about an under-15s team beating Swiss ladies? Yes, it is, yeah. It was Luzern under-15s. They beat the Swiss women's team in a warm-up for UEFA Euro Women's 2025. Luzern under-15s won 7-1 in that one. It's a free kick here to Palmeiras around the edge of the box. Possibility here to have a shot. Possibility. Rubes, Scummy. What's Scummy? What's Scummy? Who's Scummy? Palmeiras with a shot straight into the wall. That's shocking. That's absolutely shocking. Kyle, why are they playing under 15s anyway? That's crazy. I think it's just because they were, I mean, they're Swiss, for one, and Luzern are a Swiss team. So it's probably just a local, the team where they're training. That's probably the local team that they could play against, yeah. I don't think there's anything beyond that, really. The Swiss women's team were training in Switzerland near Luzern, and they got the Luzern youth team to have a game. Rubes unfollowed Juki for supporting the Germans. Like I said, I'm not supporting the Germans. I just think the Germans are a better side than England. LFC Red 6, you having a bet? Tickets will be hard to get for us, mate. Tickets for what? Tickets for what? I am having a bet, yes. I'm not on this one. I haven't bet on this one. Kyle S, over 3.5 goals tonight in England's game. I would say so, yeah. That's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout at all. Football Master Seb, hello, what are you doing? I'm doing the Palmeiras against Botafogo game, mate. Oh, Liverpool for the new season. It doesn't really, I mean, it doesn't apply to me anymore. Oh, Spencer, thank you for subbing to YouTube. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it doesn't, the go in the game and stuff, that doesn't really apply to me as much anymore. Or at least I don't really care about it as much anymore. The game, it's hard to get tickets, but it's always been hard to get tickets for a good while now. Unless you know someone. It's difficult. It's really difficult to get tickets. So, and it's just too expensive. It's far too expensive, and like I said, when you've got a family like me, I've got a young family, I've got a little girl, and I can't really justify spending 300, 400, 500 quid or whatever it'd be on a day out at the football. It's just not worth it. I'd rather put it towards her. I'd rather take her out or take her on holiday or whatever. Can't justify it for a game of football anymore. It's not the same. I'd honestly, I'd rather go and watch Wigan or Crew, or someone where it's 20 quid, and that includes your travel there and back sort of thing. You can justify that. Don't mind going watching live football. I love it, but I can't. You can't be paying hundreds of pounds. Oh, Palmeiras very nearly 1-0 up there. Vitor Roque got a front the near post and just got a touch on it, just wide. Rubes, my nephew supports a crap football team. Does he support Newcastle? Does he really? Surprising. LFC Red 6, I paid silly money to watch Liverpool. Like I said, mate, there's not really a lot to, I just don't think you can justify it anymore. Not when you're a family man and all that. Like, it's just too hard. You're a member for the club. I'm a member, yeah, I'm a member for the club. I've been a member for years and years. No, he's a Liverpool fan. Yeah, I used to go the Liverpool, like the official supporters club when I was little. Like me and my dad, we used to go every month. They'd do a supporters club held at Anfield with Les Lawson. Don't know if anyone remembers Les Lawson, but Les Lawson was kind of the chairman of the official Liverpool supporters club. Lovely fella, and we used to go all around Europe watching Liverpool with Les Lawson. Getting tickets are hard. They are hard, yeah. Getting tickets are hard. You're right. They're very hard for Liverpool. And to be honest, you know what? It's kind of comes with the territory, though. You know, mate. When Liverpool get good, tickets become hard. Really, really hard to get. But I remember going when Liverpool were under Roy Hodgson, when we were having our worst period for some time. Roy Hodgson, and even a little bit after that with Brendan Rodgers, could get tickets quite easily, to be honest, quite easily, and it's a sad part of modern football, really, that once a team gets good, can't really go and watch them anymore because you get priced out of it. Whereas, that was a naughty one. Botafogo flying into tackles here. Yeah. Whereas, you know, when you... oh, yeah, they've honestly, there should be 3 or 4 yellow cards in this already. Yeah, I remember going, when Liverpool had Roy Hodgson as manager, I remember going watching Liverpool against Gomel and Rabotnicki, and, we had some unbelievably, like, poor fixtures in Europe. And then you got tickets for the cup games. I went watching Liverpool against Reading, I think, in the cup. Loads of games where you just honestly, and now you can't buy them for love nor money. LFC Reds, one of my first games was then Liverpool lose against Blackpool. Sean Patino, R.I.P. Les Lawson. Has he died? Has he died, Les? Oh, don't say that. Has he actually died now? Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? I remember he had issues with his heart as well, and I haven't heard anything. When did he pass away? When's he? I've just searched him up. He's still going, apparently. I've not seen anything about him. When's he passed? Has he actually died, mate? Oh, that's really sad. Oh, fucking hell. He's gone 44 years without missing a game, Les Lawson. He was about the most dedicated Liverpool fan there was. And we used to go all around Europe with him and Dave Murphy and all them from the supporters club. Used to do it all the time, me and my dad. Oh, bloody hell, I'm choked up now. That's really sad. What a fella. LFC Reds, one of my first games when Liverpool lose against Blackpool. Cup games always good to get. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Poor Les. Nice fella. Really nice fella. Palmeiras are in here down the other end of the pitch. Vitor Roque. Ooh, honestly, tackles are going in here. Tackles are going in here. There's a claim for a penalty. There's no way you're getting it, but there is a claim for a penalty. Two or three players down in the in the Palmeiras box. But there is going to be a check. No penalty. It's already claimed. The ref's already looked at it. No, that one wasn't a penalty. It's the one at the other end. It's the one at the other end. That's not a pen. That's never a pen. Nah, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. No way. Rubes, I don't think he is. I mean, to be honest, I remember he was there certainly in... it was only a couple of years ago with Les. Certainly a couple of years ago. I remember him being there, but I don't know any more recently, and I've not heard anything from him in a couple of years or so. I know, yeah, no, I have as well, Rubes. Ostermorg, what's even going on with Victor? Was at Barca, then Betis, now Palmeiras. He's one of those players, mate. There's many Brazilian players who've come to the Premier League over the years and just haven't quite got themselves, I don't know. The same with, do you remember Kerrison? Keirison, I think his name was Kerrison. He came from Palmeiras to Barcelona, big money, and it just never worked out. It's Curlon was the same. There's loads of players who make the move from Brazil and just never quite get it right. And I think Vitor Roque is another one we can file in that category. And by the way, that's another thing you've got to remember with these players coming into Chelsea, like Esteval, Kendry Paez. How many players have we seen come into Chelsea or the Premier League and not quite make it and then end up back out there? It's the same sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm not sold on the fact that Esteval or Kendry Paez, these wonder players coming in from Brazil, that they're going to be anything spectacular. Look at the young lad. What's his name? The young fella at West Ham. What's his name? Lewis Guilherme. I mean, admittedly, he's still only 19, but Lewis Guilherme signed for West Ham for, how much was it? How much did they pay for him? £26 million. 26 million quid for Lewis Guilherme. And he's played 12 games for West Ham. So it's the same sort of thing. Botafogo in with a chance. It's gone behind. It's going to be a corner. First real chance. Ostermorg, remember we was linked to Andre loads and then he ended up at Wolves. Yeah, Andre was another one. Andre he has actually kind of adapted though, hasn't he? Aston King, how's it been? I've heard it's been aggressive. It has, yeah. There's been a couple of quite naughty challenges, I would say, in the opening 10 minutes or so. Corner whipped in, doesn't even beat the front post. Absolutely shocking. Whipped in again, keeper punches it away. Far too easy. And it's a foul. Shocking. Pedri Lover, mid-game interviews next season. That's going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand why anyone would want that to happen. Aston King, England or Germany tonight. Who's winning? I think Germany are going to win it. Yeah. I think Germany will win it. Pedri Lover, what? You don't like it? Well, I think about it, right? Think about it. What do you think those interviews are going to say? Do you think they're going to say anything insightful at all? Like, if you're a player who's just come off the pitch, all you're going to give... Like, the club train players what to say in these interviews. They train them what to say. So they're not going to come off and tell them anything like insight. All it's going to be is the exact same interview every single time. Player comes off the pitch... They put a mic in his face and they say, right, how did you think it's going? How's it getting on? And they say, yeah, it's really difficult out there, but you know what? We're trying really hard. The lads are doing okay. I think we can do better. You know, the manager's making some changes, but you know, I think we can beat them. Blah blah blah. Like, that's it. They're such a hard team, and we're just working as hard as we can. It's going to be the same stock answers over and over and over again. Ostermorg, Frank at Palace seems like a similar situation. Yep, Frank is another one. Pedro Lover, eventually I think we'll get something crazy, especially if it's after a controversial decision. I think they won't. If it's a controversial decision and a player's coming off the pitch and they go to stick a mic in his face, I think the managers and his teammates will be quick to get him away. You know, they'll say, no, come on, you can have it after the game. Oh, no. How are you losing that? That's shocking. Palmeiras, good defending by Botafogo. Well, 20 minutes in, I said this repeatedly, that I thought this tournament was absolutely wham. And it's proving as such. 20 minutes in, we haven't had a shot on target yet for either team. Okay, Esteval with a corner for Palmeiras. Ball whipped in from the left-hand side. Cleared away. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! How is it not a red? How is that not a red? What has just happened there? How is that not a red? He's just scissor-kicked him in the head. Oh my goodness me. Ostermorg saw reports that Saudi are going to offer 100 mil for Diaz. Yeah, it comes from a slightly sketchy Colombian source though, you know. Jaime, hey Key, I have Palmeiras or draw and under 2.5. Now that's very tasty. I like that one. Do you know what? You're very astute with those. See, I would have said more goals, but you've gone less. And clearly, you know better than I, mate, because I thought 2-2 before kickoff. But, yeah, there's not been a shot on target. It's been shocking. Chimey, I also have Benfica to win. To win or to qualify. Like, to qualify maybe in extra time I could see, but Benfica to win, that's I'm not sure about that, you know. Jake, gimme a striker from Sweden. Hope you've had a great weekend, Key. I've not, mate, to be honest. I've had a bit of a rough weekend. I feel I've been infected by my little girl again. She's brought some sort of bug home from nursery, and everyone in the house is poorly at the minute. So yeah, keep going dizzy and lightheaded. But otherwise, I'm fine. George Cooper, Rangers or Celtic? Rangers or Celtic? Probably Rangers. Yeah. I don't mind. I've no problem with either. And I don't feel strongly enough about either. But I would probably err on the side of Rangers. Pedro Lover, what a collision. Briley Stephen Lee, yo, good to see you. How's it going, mate? How's it going? Pedro Lover, that's an insane Liverpool. Oh, so that's an insane collision. Almost like they want to win. DC, what is your favourite Liverpool kit? My favourite Liverpool kit is the green away kit from 97, 98, I think it was, with the white and blue sash stripe. Jake Curtin, I'm exactly the same, mate. Ironically, defo a bug going round. Honestly, it feels like my stomach's doing somersaults. I feel like I've got that like water mouth taste. Do you know what I mean? I can't really eat anything. That's probably not the worst thing. It's probably not the worst thing for me, but I can't really eat anything. Not really got any hunger at all. I've got constant like water mouth. Keep going dizzy. It's just, yeah, stomach doing somersaults and all sorts. Can't really sleep at night. So yeah, I've been a bit crappy for the last few nights. Briley, good WWE tonight. See, I haven't watched WWE for 20 years, mate, so it doesn't really mean a lot to me. One of my good friends, though, is a big wrestling fan, so I'm sure he'll be watching it. I couldn't tell you what's on tonight. Couldn't tell you. But a few members of the channel do, you know. We've got Edward, who's a big wrestling fan. He quite enjoys wrestling. I'm sure he'll be watching it. Although he's out in Ibiza at the moment. Big shout out to Edward if you're watching. Chimey, winning 90. I got 8 right, and these are my last 2 open bets on my slip. Well, I bet you're in for some big coin on that, mate. If you've done that, well done. I'd cash out now for that. And there's no way I'm letting Benfica run. No way. Briley, it's crap now. Yeah, I mean, it's not the same as the Attitude Era. That's probably as good as I can remember, to be honest. The Real Donut, Town lost 3-1 to Emily. I'll wind my mate up about that. He's a big Everton fan. A big Huddersfield fan, sorry, not an Everton fan. Kibbs, get in the gym, Keith. Plan to, mate, yeah, plan to. I'm hoping so, actually. Once I get over this sickness, I will do. I've lost 5 stone. I need to lose a little bit more, but I'm getting there. The Real Donut, DJ17, check it out. My PFP is Town's new home shirt. Is it? Oh, that's all right. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, that. Gow, has this game been a tardy derby? Oh, a tasty derby? Not really. There's been some good tackles. You know, there's been some interesting fiery tackles, but I wouldn't say that it's been particularly exciting. There's not been a shot on target, really. Jake, I stopped watching WWE when Stone Cold was no longer the commissioner. Loved Attitude Era. That's when it was about. The Real Donuts, did the reminder come through? Yes, I said the reminder. I read it out. Gow, if there isn't a roundhouse kick thrown, game's gone. There has been a roundhouse kick. I promise you, there's actually been a roundhouse kick in this game. It was just like a scissor kick, and he caught it. Think like Doku against McAllister in the Liverpool game. That has already happened in the opening 25-30 minutes in this game. And it wasn't a red card, so, yeah. The Real Donut, who's on Palmeiras against Botafogo in the FIFA Club World Cup. I'm not particularly excited about it, to be honest. I know I'm meant to be. I know, you know, it's a channel where we do watch-alongs, and maybe I should be a bit all Mark Goldbridge and be all like, "Oh my God, it's unbelievable!" And I'm not. No, it's a pre-season tournament. Let's call it for what it is. It's a pre-season tournament. These two are mid-season. So these two are probably the fittest and most informed teams in the competition right now. Riley, it was the best Attitude Era. Do you know what? Funnily enough, I was in the car yesterday, and I don't know if it was my missus or my little girl. I can't remember who it was, but he was getting out the car, and he threw my phone back into like the middle, right? And as they threw the phone back into the middle, Facebook Reels was on, and they must have threw it back in as they were scrolling through whatever. I think it was my little girl. She was scrolling through stuff, and as she scrolled through Facebook Reels, just a total random thing came on, and it was the promo for WrestleMania. Was it WrestleMania 7? Stone Cold against it wasn't 7, was it? It wasn't 7. It was Stone Cold and The Rock. Yeah, Stone Cold and The Rock, WrestleMania, that one. That promo. 50,000 in the Astrodome. That one. So yeah, that was the reel that came on as I was driving in the car, and I couldn't turn it off. So it just ended up on a loop as I was driving. It was wicked. Absolutely wicked. I just kept listening to it, thinking that was when I remember watching wrestling. Edward, hey mate, I've had some sad news today. My dog has 2 weeks to live. Bloody hell, mate. Oh, that's sad. Sorry to hear that, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. And that's, I mean, are you still, you're still out in Ibiza, aren't you? Edward, are we talking wrestling? Get in there. Well, we're not really talking wrestling. It would just, Briley on TikTok was mentioning is there a WWE, is there a game, an event on tonight? Is there a main event or something on? I don't know. Right, we've got a cooling break. But yeah, someone said in TikTok, Briley said that there was an event on tonight. So that's how we got talking about it. And then I mentioned that I've not watched it in 20 years. And the other day we was driving and I got the wrestling promo got through on for WrestleMania when it was The Rock against Stone Cold. Night of Champions on. Not on my telly, it's not. Not on my telly. Caden, how's it going, Caden? Good to see you, mate. Do you know what? I'm surprised the water in the grass at like this point in the game. Surely that's what's going to sort of burn the grass, isn't it? Aren't you not supposed to water it when it's like red hot? They put the sprinklers on the grass. Riley, it's on Netflix. Is it really? Yeah, I got to be honest, mate. I've no idea who's on. I've not watched wrestling in years. I couldn't tell you who's fighting or whatever. It's not my thing. Edward says John Cena versus CM Punk. Alright. I saw that didn't CM Punk, that's the only thing I have seen I was on Twitter the other day and CM Punk's sort of pushed a little kid to one side or something who wanted an autograph. He was walking through and some kid came up asking for an autograph and he was just like, yeah, just drift. Caden, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Caden. Yeah, Liverpool fan. But we're not a Liverpool fan channel. We talk about everything and everyone. We watch all teams. Obviously, we're watching the Club World Cup now. We're watching England against Germany later. We'll be watching all the Premier League games when they start, all the Championship games. We watch SPL. We watch the Bundesliga, La Liga. Everything and everyone. We're just absolute footy nerds on this channel. Briley, United are doing my head in the transfer window. Well, and Burmo looks like it's not going to be an immediate signing anyway. It looks like it's maybe going to be one for. It's going to take a bit of time. Rubes, it was his security that pushed him away. It looked like it was CM Punk to me. I don't know, Rubes. Edward, thinking of going home on Monday, though, to be with the doggy. I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you. Part of the family, aren't they? We'll definitely get him, says Briley. Yeah, I think you will get him. But the thing is, you've been basically bullied by Brentford at this point, haven't you? You've been absolutely bullied because you offered, what was it, 50 million initially. It was 50 million and Brentford were like, no, 70 million. So United have gone back and gone, alright, fine. 60 million. And Brentford have gone, no, 70 million. And now United are going to have to go back and go, alright, fine, 70 million then. So you've just been absolutely rinsed for an extra 20 million quid. Fair play to Brentford. Ostermorg looks similar to how Leverkusen stalled us when getting Wirtz. The thing is, I kind of feel like with Wirtz it was a little bit different because Liverpool and Leverkusen, throughout that, I actually think that was agreed long in advance, and what we saw play out was almost a little bit of kabuki theatre, like just putting it on for the crowd almost, like Because Leverkusen fans, from a Leverkusen point of view, right, imagine this. Leverkusen don't want to give the impression to their fans, because they are a big club, they are one of the better teams in Germany, they were the champions up until last season, you know, they don't want to give the impression that they're just selling their best players willy-nilly. So I think they would have said to Liverpool, listen, doesn't matter what your first bid is. If we say to you he's worth 140 million and you put 140 million on the table, we're rejecting it, because we have to. We have to reject it. We have to make it look like to our fans that we're not just willing to accept the first offer. There has to be a bit of a back and forth, so it looks like we've squeezed more out of you. So I think sometimes what actually plays out in, because it's very, very easy to agree a fee. It's very, very easy to agree a fee. I think Liverpool and Leverkusen agreed that fee pretty quickly, and then it was just a basic, right, how do we let this play out in front of the fans then? What do we actually want to get out? Well, why don't we bid, you reject, and then we'll bid again, you reject again, then we'll bid a third time, and then you'll accept begrudgingly. And your fans will feel like, you know, you've got the best value for one of your star players, and our fans will feel like, wow, Liverpool are really committed to spending for the right player. So win-win all round. With United and Brentford, it's not quite that. It's not quite the way. Ball whipped in, comes out on the other side. The donkey. Oh, come on. Give us a goal or something. Alex Telles has already been booked as well. So we've had plenty of bookings in this game already. I knew this was the wrong game to do. I knew it was the wrong game to do. Ostermorg, Leverkusen will be interesting with Erik Ten Hag at the wheel next year. I like Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag's a good manager. Do you know what? And have you seen who they've signed today as well, by the way? Malik Tillman. Malik Tillman. Very good player. And if they've got Tillman, they've got Kwanzaa. There's some quality players at Leverkusen, you know. They might actually end up doing all right out of this. Franco spend most of the time lying on the park. Who are these? It's been pretty poor, hasn't it, to be honest. Ostermore, good signing. Ball whipped into the far post. Keeper has he got a foul? He's got a foul here. Honestly, I can't tell you how bad this game is. It's been dreadful. Everybody has been telling me, Key, you should do the Club World Cup. Why aren't you doing the Club World Cup games? Do the Club World Cup. It's great. Nobody is interested. Literally nobody is interested. Onye, anybody else think Estevao is overrated and is going to flop in the Prem? He's very raw. Yeah, I mean, like every other Brazilian that's come from the Brazilian League to the Prem, the vast majority of them have flopped, haven't they? Yeah, vast majority. There's not been many that's come and played incredibly well from Brazil. Telles, he's shocking. He was another cracking United signing, wasn't he? I tell you honestly, if this doesn't pick up, I'm cancelling. I'm ending the stream. It's 0-0, Webbo. It's 0-0, but it's shite. It's absolutely shocking. We've not seen a shot on target in this game. Not a shot on target in 40 minutes. And a few yellow cards. How is it shocking? It's just been yellow. The refs give out maybe 4 or 5 yellow cards. 4 or 5 yellow cards. And that's about it. It's just been a load of hatchet men kicking everything above grass. but no actual quality on the ball. I've had people coming into the channel telling me, oh, these South American teams, they're brilliant, they're a lot better than other people, they're a lot better than these European teams. I'm telling you that they're underrated, the South American teams. On your bike. Prescott Cables would beat these. Honestly, St Helens Town would beat these, Marine would beat these, Tranmere Rovers would beat these. They're shocking. Onye, I'm watching him, he's very raw and loses the ball a lot. He can't be starting for Chelsea, no way. Well, if he loses the ball a lot, he'd be perfect for Chelsea. Gao, is Esteval playing? If so, how's he looking? He is playing, mate, and he hasn't got a kick. When he has got a kick, he's lost the ball. Ostermorg, oh sorry, we've done that one. Webbo, you never know, the second half might be better. That's true. Yeah, maybe it will. Ostermorg and Mari Patrick would be running rings around them. I think we could get a group of lads have a game against these. Dow can't be worse than Madwecki. Yeah, I don't rate Madwecki at all. But it's interesting again. It feels like Madwecki's got a real... Like, his profile seems to be much bigger than anyone else. All the fans don't... Anytime I speak to a Chelsea fan or anyone, really... What do you think of Madwecki? Oh, he's crap. He's absolutely crap. And then you'll see rumours popping up, won't you? You see rumours coming on. Arsenal are in a race for Madwecki. It just feels like a really odd move, that. He's absolutely pony. Yeah, no kidding. I was going to say it was... there was rumours that Arsenal were looking at Madwecki. But Arsenal this morning, that's another big bit of news as well. Arsenal being linked with Ademola Lookman. Because it feels like Rodrigo is now... That's gone off the table. Rodrigo doesn't look like it's going to happen. They were linked with Eze. That one doesn't quite look like it's moving as much anymore. And now Ademola Lookman is the target on the left-hand side. Again, they just keep going down and down and down in the expectations of who they're actually going to get. Ademola Lookman's not an Arsenal player. For me, anyway. I don't think he's an Arsenal player. Briley, I called you GOAT, by the way. Oh, did you? I thought that was a donkey. Sorry. I thought you was talking about one of the players that were a donkey. Sorry. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Calling me a GOAT. That's very nice. Chelsea forever. I love Brazilian football. I mean, I don't love these two. These are shocking. Riley. Really Noni to the Gunners, says Chelsea forever. That's the link. That's the rumour. Whether or not it happens, I mean, it's certainly one of the rumours doing the rounds for sure. Chelsea need a world-class winger. I know Rodrigo or Leao are great. Even Garnacho would be better. And Garnacho is crap. I think Garnacho's a steal for someone. And Martinelli, by the way. If Arsenal are on about signing a left winger, if they go and get, Eze or Lookman or Madwecki or even Rodrigo, if they do, you've got to imagine that Martinelli then looks at it and goes, well, I can't stay here. Martinelli's too good to be sat on the bench at Arsenal. I'd have Martinelli at Liverpool. I think there's a player in Martinelli. Like, in the same way that, Chelsea sold Salah well before they should have done. I think if Arsenal sold Martinelli, they'd regret it. They would regret it. Gao, Arsenal seem to have this kink of signing all our utterly dud footballers. Onye, Arsenal signing anyone but a striker or a winger. That's true, yeah. And Jake says Arsenal linked with Gordon too in the last 24 to 48 hours. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Whoever wants Gordon, you're paying between 80 million to 100 million, can't see anyone getting him. I don't think you're paying 80 to 100 million. Newcastle are desperate for the cash. I'm telling you, mate, that Isak deal looks more and more likely to happen. Every single time Newcastle are mentioned with buying someone, the question always gets raised. Newcastle are really, really tight with PSR. And Joyce is saying it, Ornstein is saying it. But Newcastle need signings. And they keep being linked. Obviously, they've got Trafford. They've got Pedro that they bid for. There's the rumours that they're bidding for... Who was the other fella? That they bid for? They made 3 bids, didn't they, the other day? Who was it? Trafford, Pedro, and... Who was the third one? Who was the other one? Can't remember. Ilanga. Yes, Ilanga. That was it. Ilanga. That was absolutely brilliant. 3 signings or 3 players they bid for, and every single report said that Newcastle are struggling with PSR. They're very, very tight on it. So it just increases all of the stuff around Isak. The fact that they're going to be, they're targeting these players, but actually at the same time they're struggling for cash. I'm telling you, it's going to be exactly what happened with Spurs. It's exactly what happened with Spurs and Gareth Bale. They'll go out and sign all these players, and then they'll sell Isak for 120. I'm telling you, it's happening. It's happening. Oh, in fact, the what's the local Newcastle paper? The local Newcastle paper, is it the Shield or the Gazette, or it might be both of them? I can't remember. But the local Newcastle paper said Newcastle would prefer to sell Isak abroad. That was the headline that ran this morning, right? So, just to categorise this, that it's gone from, he's not for sale, to, well, he could be for sale, but it's only if you pay 200 million quid, to, well, he is for sale, and, it wouldn't be 200 million, but maybe, we want to sell him abroad. I'm telling you, it's all pointing in the right direction. It's all pointed in that direction. Onye, if you're a Liverpool fan, do you prefer Osimhen, Gyökeres, Ekitike or Isak? Isak every single day of the week, then Ekitike, then Osimhen, then Gyökeres. Gyökeres will be a shocking signing for someone. Jake read this morning that Richard Hughes wanted to get Enzo Fernandez and Bruno Guimaraes. Klopp didn't want him. Again, I wouldn't put too much stock in that, to be honest. Joel, I don't know how Newcastle can possibly be struggling when the others aren't, because Newcastle have spent far more than the likes of Liverpool and City over the last 5 years. Newcastle have spent a fortune in the last 5 years. They've spent a fortune. Jake, exactly with Spurs and Kane, you mean? Soon we'll dig deep unless you overpay. No, I'm not on about Spurs and Kane. I'm on about Spurs and Gareth Bale. That's what Spurs did with Gareth Bale. Spurs went out and signed a load of players, right? While still denying that Gareth Bale was available, right? They went out and signed all these players, and they kept Gareth Bale, kept him, and kept saying he's not for sale, he's not for sale. Behind the scenes, they basically agreed a deal with Real Madrid. But what they didn't want to do was sell him to Real Madrid for 100 million quid or whatever it was they ended up selling him for. And then every team that they go to after that, they know that they've got, 100 million quid burning a hole in their pocket. So what happens? Spurs go, all right, listen, we'll sell him to you. We'll sell him to you, but keep it quiet. Just keep it stum, right? Keep it stum. And then what we'll do is we'll go out and do all our shopping. We'll tell everyone we're skint and we're keeping Bale. We'll go and do all our shopping, get all of our players secure, and then we'll sell him to you. And that is exactly how it played out. That's exactly how it played out. And it worked out all right for Spurs, that. It didn't work out all right in terms of the players they got. I think they signed Soldado, they signed Paulinho, Eric Lamela. There's a few, it just didn't quite work out. But yeah, Gareth Bale went to Madrid and they didn't end up getting all the players they wanted. Rubes, they have hardly spent anything. They've spent, I think, fifth. I think they're the 5th highest spenders in the Premier League over the last 5 years. 5th highest spenders. There's only Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, and Spurs, I think, have spent more than Newcastle in the last 5 years. Liverpool and City haven't. Liverpool and City have spent a lot less than Newcastle. A lot less. Anye, I feel bad for Newcastle. Teams like City have rich owners and never face any PSR issues. Well, I mean, they do. They do face PSR issues. They've just not quite been punished for them yet. But they have been charged, haven't they? It's not like they've not been punished. Or rather, well, they have. They haven't been punished. It's not like they haven't been, you know, they haven't been challenged, let's say. Or told off for it. Jake, just imagine if he stays and you've said all this now. I love it. What do you mean? Again, I've told you, he's still going to have to hand a transfer request in. If he doesn't hand a transfer request in, he won't come. That's it. But I'm just telling you, you keep saying it like it's definitely not going to happen. But all the noise is saying otherwise. All the noise is saying otherwise. If he puts a transfer request in, Liverpool will be there. If he doesn't put a transfer request in, it won't happen. But I just think all the noise is pointing towards it. 9, Ilias unable to watch the game at the moment. How is Esteval playing? Well, he can't take a corner kick. Every corner kick he's taken has been cleared away at the front post, just as that one is. He can't take a set piece. Every time he's got the ball, he's lost it. He's done nothing. And to be honest, that goes for every Palmeiras and Botafogo player. So it's nothing to do with Esteval. But they've all been pretty rubbish, if I'm dead honest. Jake, since the takeover happened, we have Forest spend more than us, Everton, West Ham some seasons. That's not true. No, that isn't true. Well, maybe some seasons, but over the last 5 years, you still spent far more. Still spent far more. Max, Isak ain't coming. Relax yourself. Christ. Look at that big, oily, scaly, audible thing in your picture, Max. I think there's a fish in it as well. Hey! Anye, if Isak leaves Newcastle, they could bring in Pedro, Elanga, Trafford, and I think they wouldn't get Champions League. I don't think they get Champions League with Isak, though. This is the thing. They don't get him with Isak. Ben, surely we want to get the number 9 sorted ASAP, so we should be saying to him, you look, fella, you're our number 1 choice, but you need to act promptly because we want you in our pre-season preparations. I know, but we can't have it all our own way, can we? We can't have it all our own way. It takes time to do a deal like this. It takes time. Franco, what a rank, rotten match. No kidding, Franco. No kidding. It's been dreadful. It's been absolutely dreadful. I need to stop the clock and get it back to 45. SLS 16. I think Hyson and Reinders are the best signings of the Mercato so far, of the season, do you think? Okay. Ostermorg, think I could watch Getafe games better than this. Mate, you could watch paint dry, it'd be better than this. You could watch paint dry better than this. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Jake, with Isak, they got Champions League 2 out of 3, so it's a first shout. Keep, though, I don't know, clearly an agenda. No, you got 2 out of 3, but you've never got the Champions League when you've been playing in the Champions League, have you? You've never got the Champions League when you've had other games to focus on, and that's been the problem for Newcastle. So I think that's what is going to keep you out of it again this year. You haven't got the squad to keep you up there. And let's be straight, mate. You literally only got the Champions League this year on goal difference on the last day of the season by the skin of your teeth. And it was only because of a refereeing decision at Old Trafford. If that referee at Old Trafford gives that decision, Newcastle aren't in the Champions League. Villa are. Isak has already put a transfer request in by now. So it's a much, much more simpler equation if that happens. But you literally got it by the skin of your teeth. Literally the skin of your teeth. Anye, I'm a United fan, so this hurts, but if they get Isak, Liverpool are serious contenders. Maybe the treble. Franco, FIFA keep on insisting that the World Club Cup should be made massive. I mean, they will do, mate, because it helps them to bring revenue in, sadly. But it's a jumped up pre-season tournament, isn't it, for the most part? SLS, they played no more than 15 million of football between the faults, water break, boring first half. Yeah, it was shocking. Shocking. Jake, but if they won the last 2 games, would have finished second, Key. Yeah, if me aunt had a, she'd be me uncle, Max, they literally spanked you in the cup final last season. Why would he downgrade? Why would he downgrade? You think Newcastle to Liverpool to downgrade, Max? You're not particularly with it, really, are you? Maybe that fish has got a bit more brains than you, son. Briley, Club World Cup is dead. Oh, Onye, listen, don't even respond to him. He's just after a bit of attention. He obviously doesn't get it at home. Franco, World Club Cup, also give FIFA representatives free holidays in America and to live it up. Honestly, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Max, first non-COVID Premier League you've ever won. Chilling, you're the big boys. First non-COVID Premier League. I don't understand what you're talking about. Who do you support, Max? What are you getting at? I don't know. You say non-COVID Premier League as if we weren't 30 points clear before COVID hit. We were 30 points clear before COVID hit. Even before COVID stopped the season, we were 30 points clear. And yet you call it a COVID League title. Ben, it takes time, but you've said it yourself. It's going to take for him to hand in a transfer request to be the catalyst. What does he gain from holding out on doing that? Well, I think it's a game of who blinks first, Ben. I think it's a game of who blinks first because Isak doesn't want to hand a transfer request and he doesn't want to damage his relationship with the Newcastle fans, especially if it doesn't work out. Imagine that. Imagine handing your transfer request in and it maybe doesn't pan out. Maybe the deal can't, falls through or whatever, then he has to stay. Then it's awful, isn't it? Then it's terrible. So he won't want to do that. He won't want to hand a transfer request in if he can possibly avoid it. He'll be trying to, him and his agent will be trying to get Liverpool and Newcastle to just kind of, can you two just sort it out? Like, I want to come, but I don't want to make a statement that I want to come. And also, there are financial consequences for him if he makes a statement. If he makes a statement that he wants to leave and hands a transfer request in, there's certain mechanisms that Newcastle will have in his contract that cost him. There's penalties for that. That's how players force moves, and it's how clubs protect themselves against these players forcing moves. So, it's going to make it very difficult for Newcastle to keep him once Isak hands a transfer request in. If he doesn't hand a transfer request in, it is just a game of who blinks first. Like I said, I think Liverpool will be pushing him to do it because it will make negotiations easier. He will be hoping that Liverpool will do it without him having to do that. And Newcastle will be saying maybe to Liverpool, look, let us try and get our business done first. Let us get our business done first, and then maybe we can sell him later in the window. That would suit Newcastle far more, wouldn't it? Max, bin dippers. You say it like it's an insult, Max. You're not very smart, are you, really? Sims, what's your favourite takeaway? Favourite takeaway? Definitely an Indian. Yeah, I'm not a lover of Chinese. Not a lover of Chinese food. Briley, I'm off, bro. No worries, Briley. Good to see you, mate. Take it easy. Jake, he'll never hand a transfer request in this summer. It's not happening. Why? Why is it not happening, Jake? Why wouldn't Isak hand a transfer request in this summer? You're saying he might do next summer? Is that your assertion? You'd say he might hand it in next summer, but he definitely won't this summer. Why? Why? BCFC predictions for next night. Predictions for tonight. They've already beat us once this tournament. Oh, for England, Germany. Germany for sure. Germany will absolutely batter England tonight. Yeah. 3-star Reds. That first half was stomach churning for me with those flying tackles. Had to take someone out. Mate, it was shocking. It was a poor first half all round. It was dreadful to watch. It just reinforces everything I've said about this Club World Cup. I have no desire to watch it. If there's any football on other than this, I'll watch it. Believe me. SLS Man City next season is scary. Can't see any Real Madrid behind you. Why would I have Real Madrid? Why would I have Real Madrid's shirt behind me? Why would I have that corrupt club? That corrupt club behind me? who beat Liverpool in every Champions League final and take all our best players for free. Why would I have Real Madrid behind me? Jake, just type in Isak Liverpool on Google. Shows you Isak's celebration in the final class. But again, what are you? Why would he not? Why would he definitely not hand a transfer request in this summer? But you're saying that he might next summer. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that he might go next summer. He might hand a transfer request in next summer, but he definitely won't this summer. Why? Why do you think that? That's what's bizarre to me. Onye, I'm not a Liverpool fan, so please correct me, but how about get Ekitike and develop him? Well, you might argue that Ekitike, as good as he could be, I don't think he's sufficiently good enough that he could be as good as... Maybe he could be as good as Isak, but we don't know. Darwin Núñez, mate. We signed Darwin Núñez after he had 48 goal contributions in 61 games in Benfica. You know, an absolutely incredible season for Darwin Núñez. He came into the Premier League. And I love Darwin Núñez. In an ideal world, we wouldn't sell him. But I can understand us trying to sell him and get 60, 70 million quid back. But I think there's an argument that Ekitike maybe doesn't reach those heights. And yeah, exactly. Ostamorg, you said it. Frankfurt are overpricing him as well. 85 million quid for Ekitike just doesn't seem reasonable value to me. 3-star Reds. Newcastle know the fee for Elanga, and unless they meet Forest's asking price, then it'll be no deal. Forest under no pressure to sell. But again, it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? If Elanga wants to leave, if Elanga was to put a transfer request in and apply pressure, then there would be a little bit of pressure for him to sell. But as it stands, I don't think Elanga is under immense pressure I don't think Elanga does seem like he wants to put a transfer request in. There's no reason necessarily for him to move from Forest to Newcastle. I don't think it's a significant step up. Forest showed last season that they could compete for Europe, couldn't they? And maybe if he stuck around and Gibbs White stuck around and they invested in the right areas, there's no reason why Forest couldn't be up there again. They could finish above Newcastle next season. Anye, how about Osimhen? He's amazing. I hope United sign him, but his wages are an issue. And also, he isn't really a counter-attacking striker, whereas someone like Isak and Ekitike are. I don't think that Osimhen, not Gyökeres. I don't think that Osimhen is a Premier League striker. I think he's a good striker, but a little bit like Gyökeres, he would come in and he would probably flatter to deceive. I think he'd get maybe 10 to 15 max. He'd be a good striker, but no more than that. So I don't think it's worth the 70, 80 million that you'd have to pay to get Osimhen in. There's several reasons why Isak is staying at the 2, and I've told you over the last couple. Go on, give us one. Give us one. Why? Give us the main reason. What's the main reason that he would stay? I'm not asking why he's staying at Newcastle. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking why you think he would hand a transfer. Because every Newcastle fan I've spoken to have said, I think he probably goes next year. Yeah, he probably goes next year. So that's my question. Why is he next year going, but this year he isn't? Why is this year he not going? I don't understand that. Ostamorg, AFCON is an issue with Osimhen as well. Yeah, that's it. It's another reason not to get him. Another reason not to get him. He's got 3 years on his deal and he's really happy. He's seen what we have to offer, and you too. That doesn't answer the question. That doesn't answer the question. What Newcastle have to offer next season is about the same as what Newcastle have to offer in 2 seasons. Getting banners as big as the stands. We whooped you in the final. Fans too. Why would he go? Why would he go there? Oh, Jake, come on. Everything you can offer, he has already. No, you can't. But right. So you think he can challenge for the Premier League title this season at Newcastle? You think he can challenge for the Premier League title at Newcastle? Is that what we're saying, Jake? Come on, mate. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Onye, if Kanate does a Trent and runs down his contract to join Madrid, that would be dreadful. I think that is exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, looks exactly like that's what's going to happen. John, what's the Club World Cup game been like? It's been shocking. It's been dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Jake, maybe next year, if we have a bad season, then he might. I've heard him with my own ears tell family and friends he's staying. But he's going to say that. Again, he's going to say that. Next year, if we have a bad season, then he might. But what's a good season for Newcastle this year? What's a good season for Newcastle this year? And what's a bad season? Because I think an average season for Newcastle would be that you finish 5th or 6th again. And 5th or 6th again is not going to be... It's neither here nor there for Isak. He wants to be challenging for Premier League titles and Champions Leagues. He can't do that at Newcastle. So you're saying everything he can do at Newcastle, he can do at Liverpool. That's not true. That's categorically not true. He's not going to challenge for the Champions League or the Premier League at Newcastle. He will at Liverpool. Fact. Fact. You know that, Jake. Come on. You know that. You know that. Loves Eddie. He's playing his best football here. He's also got a chance to become a legend here at Liverpool. He's just another player. At Liverpool, he's just another player. He's already a legend at Newcastle. He could leave Newcastle tomorrow for Sunderland and still be your best ever striker. Literally. And I'm including Ward Allen in that and Jackie as well. Like, he's won you the league. He's won you the League Cup. He's won you a trophy. He could leave to Sunderland tomorrow. He'd still be a legend at Newcastle. He could leave to Sunderland tomorrow. 3-star Reds, not a chance of Newcastle challenging for the Premier League title. The signings Liverpool are making, it's Liverpool's title. And that's a Forest fan saying that, by the way. That's not me. That's a Forest fan saying that. Thanks, 3-star Reds. Appreciate that. I can't understand the mentality of someone saying, whatever Isak can do at Liverpool, he can do at Newcastle. That's not true. That's just not true. In no world is that true. He'd be idolised at Liverpool too. He'd be one of the best strikers in the world. He could genuinely compete with Haaland as well. He would have a platform to be one of the best players in the world. He could actually win, maybe even win a Ballon d'Or at Liverpool. Who knows? Ostermorg, did Trent care about becoming a legend? I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true. When you've got trophies on offer, that's what it's about. John, has Partey left Arsenal? Yes, not officially, but he has. It looks like he's moving. LH, he's already better than Haaland. I don't know if he's better than Haaland. I don't know if he's better than Haaland just yet. Haaland's still the best centre forward in the world, in my book anyway. But I think if Haaland is... Obviously, Haaland gets loads of chances a game, doesn't he? Isak's at Newcastle, so he doesn't get anywhere near as many chances. Whereas at Liverpool, he'd have a chance to really showcase his stuff, and you would have to imagine that he would go up a gear, he'd step up a notch. So, I just think... Like I said, there is absolutely a chance that Isak stays at Newcastle. Absolutely there is. But I think he only stays at Newcastle if Newcastle make some massive, massive signings to convince him that they are going to be a threat in the Champions League and maybe even in the Premier League. Then he might stay. And maybe that's what's happening. Maybe that's what we're seeing now. Maybe we're seeing him kind of just assess things and see who are Newcastle signing. They've been knocked back by Mbeumo. They've been knocked back by Gueye. Elanga, it doesn't look quite like that's happening. So it maybe feels a little bit like there's just a bit of an assessment period going on with Isak, and in time he might make a decision towards the start of the season. He might look and go, well, look, I've given you a chance. I've given you a chance to make some signings, but you've not committed. You've not kept up with your end of the bargain. Yeah. If Isak was valued so highly by Newcastle, they would be doing more to keep him. they would be doing more to keep him. And you can't keep a player like that and be trying to sign, no disrespect, James Trafford. And having Murphy and Barnes in your attack. Like, I'm sorry, no. Isak is an elite striker, and it's going to be a corner to Palmeiras. Isak's an elite striker, and it's going to take time for Newcastle to get up to the top level. And I'm sure maybe in time they will. That's not time that Isak's got. Isak could fit into a Real Madrid or a PSG team and look class. So if Isak wants titles, he will walk, says 3-star Reds. Completely agree. Yeah. That's what it's about, isn't it? Ben Twist, sorry, I'm 11 minutes behind because I was on the phone. How delusional to say going to Liverpool from Newcastle is a backward step. What a childish opinion. Okay. Ostermorg, Mikatadze would be a good signing for Newcastle. Yeah, very much like George Mikatadze. Very good player. 3-star Reds, taking some time for a bit out. See you later for the main event to watch the England trophy lift. Take it easy, mate. Yeah, I'll see you in a little bit, 3-star Reds. Jake, Isak and Toon are calm, Key. Contract talks due when he returns from holiday, and that's been in the pipeline for months. And again, maybe you're right. Like I said, maybe you are right. But I would be very surprised if Isak signs a contract. Maybe he does sign a contract, by the way. I reckon if he signs a contract, there'll be a clause in it. There'll be an escape clause in it. A release fee or something like that. And it might even be that he signs a contract and still goes this summer. It wouldn't be surprising at all. Signing a contract does not end the saga. It merely delays it. But like I said, maybe he doesn't sign a contract. I think he will be looking at Newcastle's transfer business with interest. He'll be looking at it and seeing, well, okay, doesn't look like things are going all that well. Do I want to play in this team next season? Does this team look like one that can compete at the top end of the Premier League? Because if not, what am I really doing here? I'm not a Newcastle fan. He's from Sweden. He's from Sweden. He's not a Newcastle fan any more than he was a Sociedad fan, any more than he's a Malmo or a Dortmund fan. He's a footballer. And at the end of the day, football is about winning trophies. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he moved on. Jake, I don't think Isak to Liverpool is a backward step. Maybe it's a sideways one. Alright, fair enough. We'll let you off with that one. Oh, come on. Christ. I mean, how long have we got left of this shite? 49 minutes. Palmeiras. Oh, good save. Very good save from the keeper. And it's in. It's 1-0. No, it's offside. Offside. Offside for Palmeiras. That would have been a nice way to shut me up, though, to be fair, wouldn't it? We've been talking about how rubbish the game is. Immediately, Palmeiras get a goal. He is offside. Estevao is offside, and it's him that's got it ruled out. What a shame. If you haven't yet, please do get over to YouTube, go and vote in the poll. What score do you think this will be? Do you think Botafogo win in 90 minutes? Do you think Palmeiras win in 90 minutes? Do you think either team win it in extra time or penalties? Go and have a look and vote on YouTube, Premier League Dad. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are. Ostermorg, didn't Brentford announce their new manager? Yes, they did. Yeah, it's Keith Andrews, who was the set-piece coach last season. He is now their new manager. So it's a very brave move for both Brentford and Keith Andrews. I mean, I guess for Keith Andrews, it's win-win because he could end up becoming a great manager in the Premier League, or worst-case scenario, it's a bit too big for him and he ends up becoming a set-piece coach again. So there's nothing really to lose for him. But generally speaking, when you know, backroom staff step up, they don't always make the leap. You know, just because you're a good coach or a good assistant manager doesn't mean you're a good manager. That's usually the case. Remember that with Man United's great managers, obviously Carlos Queiroz, Brian Kidd, quite a few did that with Man United, didn't they? John, I bet you wish you were stood watching your locals instead of the Club World Cup game. I'd rather be watching reruns of Emmerdale than this. And that says something. Ostermorg, wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal do the same set-piece coach to manager. Is it Java, that? Nicholas Java? Java? I don't know what his name is, but he's got a... How mad's that? Arsenal set-piece coach has got a mural. That's ridiculous, that. That is ridiculous. Kieran Bain, sorry, this game's so boring, I fell asleep. I don't blame you. I wish I could have had a sleep. I'm shattered. I'd have had a sleep instead of watching this rubbish. 0-0, 51 minutes. We've had 2 shots on target all game, and to be honest, both of them have been in the second half. Ostermorg, that would have been a nightmare for me if Linders came in after Klopp. Yeah, and that's it. Linders has proven that as well, hasn't he? Linders left and didn't quite work out for him. Hillary Coyle, end on 52 minutes. Oh, sorry. 52-15. Oh, sorry, I've just seen what you said, yeah. I was going to say, it might as well end now, because it's been pretty poor, hasn't it? It's been pretty poor. Ben, Pep Linders left twice, he did. And both times he left to manage. And wasn't particularly successful either time. Both times failed miserably. He very nearly got the Norwich job, didn't he, as well? Look at Arteta, didn't work for him either. I mean, Arteta and Maresca are two more recent examples where maybe you could argue it has worked out. But there's not many. It's not many. Generally, you're better at putting... Some people are just better at being, you know, the voice of reason, the one that all the players come to and the one that all the players talk to. They're better at being that rather than being the bad guy. Because that's often what the manager ends up being, is the bad guy. The manager picks the squad. The manager gets it wrong. The players kick off at the manager or, you know, start sulking. The assistant manager goes and picks them back up. Come on, Palmeiras. Chance. Cleared away. Hit it. Good block. Well, Chimey, if you're still watching Chimey, you've had... I am absolutely certain you're winning your bet. Palmeiras or draw and under 2.5 you've got in this game. That's a great bet, that. You've done really well there. Palmeiras or draw and under 2.5. Mate, I don't think there's going to be 1 goal in this game, let alone 2.5. It's absolutely dreadful. We should be charging DAZN for watching this. Ostermorg, Palmer have taken someone from Arsenal's coaching staff, haven't they? Yes, yeah, I believe so. I think it's one of the first team coaches for Arsenal have gone to Palmer. Only 29 as well. Nice. Something I wish I'd have done maybe a little bit younger. Gone and got coaching badges. I've got my coaching badges for like basic coaching badges where you can do like, you know, kids teams and stuff, under 15s, under 14s and whatever you can do. You can do them. But I'd love to have maybe took it a bit further. Chelsea just bid for João Pedro. They have 7 strikers. See, the thing is though, mate, if Chelsea get João Pedro, that is gonna flag up to Isak. This is all stuff you've got to remember. You've got to look at it through Isak's eyes. Players are turning Newcastle down at every opportunity. If João Pedro goes to Chelsea, that's not a good look. It's not a good look. Ostermorg, I'm sure Chelsea just signed players so other clubs can't get them. Honestly, there is going to be a tidal wave coming with Chelsea and City, because they have spent insane amounts of money and haven't really been able to justify it in terms of outs either. Palmeiras, good claim by the keeper. Ben, I was interested in getting into scouting at one time. The coaching side never interested me. Scouting side's gone far more into data now. There's full on like data systems for scouting. So it's scouts are usually now used to confirm players rather than actually, it used to be at one time they'd have scouts sent all over the world watching as many games as possible, and they would happen upon players. Whereas now they've got data systems that will identify a player and say, oh, there's a player in the Icelandic league that is, his sprints per 90 are this, and his ball retention is this, and his successful dribbles is this. All of these metrics suggest to us he could be a good fit for the Premier League. He's young. He's playing for a team that we think we could get him for a decent price. Let's send a scout to go and see how he works, and let's go and see a scout to maybe see if he's a good fit. And that's usually how it works now, whereas it never used to be that way. Onyé, never too late, mate. Couldn't be worse than Van Nistelrooy and Russell Martin. I mean, Christ. Russell Martin. I mean, Van Nistelrooy's won a league title. Oh, chance. Palmeiras. Yeah, Van Nistelrooy's won a league title, hasn't he? And Russell Martin's going to be in the Champions League this year. So, Christ, yeah, if they can do it, why not? Anyone can, really. Ben, you still need the eye test, mate. Data is the beginning of the conversation, not the end. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, totally agree. HSH, predictions for the Under-21 final and Chelsea v Benfica. So, I have already put bets on for both of them. That I've got Germany to lift the trophy and and Chelsea to qualify. Not Chelsea to win necessarily, just to qualify. I think it might be a tight game, Chelsea-Benfica, but I think Chelsea do go through. And I think Germany, if I'm really honest, I think Germany quite comfortably beat England later. Yeah. Ball whipped in by Palmer. Do you know what? Honestly, the worst thing that could happen, the absolute worst thing that could happen, is that this game finishes 0-0 or 1-1. The last thing I want to see is another 30 minutes in this game, for God's sake. Someone score. Sweet Lord. Someone has to score in this game. Jake, Dan Byrne just did a high performance podcast and said Newcastle phoned friends and old bosses to see what type of person he was. Yeah, no, that's really common. Yeah, really. It very much is like not just about that data anymore. It is about what's his personal life like. Has he settled down? Has he got a girlfriend or whatever? Is he out every night partying? That stuff they look at. They look at that. They also look at your family as well. What's his background? Does he come from? Is he from good stock? Like, is his family behind him? Are they supporting him, or has he been kind of in and out of the care home system or things like that? Not that that's bad, by the way. There's been plenty of good footballers who's come from that, but it does suggest, like Nile Ranger, for example. Nile Ranger ended up so much talent, wasted career, didn't he, at Newcastle? And you maybe he should have got a different sort of grounding both at the club and in his personal life. Then he probably would have done much better. Jake, Fergie used to like players married and settled. Ostermorg, Liverpool are big on that as well, aren't they? Yeah. Fergie did like players married and settled. I always remember, I think I've told the story on this channel before, but Wes Brown bought a... He was just breaking into the Manchester United first team, and Alex Ferguson had a rule that if you wanted to buy a house, you had to go and ask him first. That was his rule. Maybe not later in your career, but if you were a young player and you were buying your first house, you had to go and speak to Sir Alex Ferguson and kind of get permission, get his blessing, right? So, and it was the same with a lot of other managers. Brian Clough used to do that with cars. If you were buying your first car, you used to have to go and ask Brian Clough about it. Anyway, Alex Ferguson, Wes Brown walks into Alex Ferguson's office one day, goes in, he says, boss, I bought a place, I've moved out of my mum and dad's. And he said, oh, that's great news, son. Where is it? And he said, oh, it's a penthouse apartment. It's above the Birdcage nightclub in Manchester. And he said, are you joking? And he was like, no. He said, I've bought it. He said, have you signed the contracts on it? And apparently he had. And Alex Ferguson said, get it sold. Get it sold. I'll give you an estate agent. You're not staying there. You're not living there. Get it sold now. Get it sold quick. I'll give you an estate agent to speak to. You'll go and live somewhere else where I tell you are not living above a nightclub. You just imagine what sort of player Wes Brown maybe could have been if he'd have ended up living above a nightclub. There'd have been girls, there'd have been all sorts, drugs, beer and all sorts and everything around the place. It's the last thing you want. John, if I was one of the players, I would try one from distance to try and catch the keeper out. Christ, honestly, just try anything. Anything in this game. They're all shocking. Hillary Coyle, I've got England and Chelsea wins. Yeah, that'd be nice for a lot of people who are watching. I'm sure plenty are watching, hoping for an England win. Vitor Roque and Estevao are being taken off for Luigi and Paulinho. There you go. Estevao and Roque not going to make it for the full game. 60 minutes, they're off the pitch. Seer, cold take. Messi is still currently the best footballer on the planet. Not a chance. Onye, I know he's linked to Bayern, but Liverpool should try and get him. Young quality. Develop well. Should try and get who? Try and get who? Who are we on about? Gaz at 88, this game is so boring. Yeah, no kidding. Shocking, isn't it? Onye, didn't Wes Brown go bankrupt? I think he did, yeah. I think he did. But I mean, to be fair, I think that happened after his Manchester United playing career. And he left Man United with quite a lot of money. You know, he left Man United after he'd won or he'd been in the Champions League with them, and you know, they'd been really good, and he ended up going to, was he at Sunderland for a while before his career kind of petered out? So yeah, so Wes Brown, Man United. And you know what? My older brother's friends with a former Manchester United player. I won't say who it is. He's not a prominent Manchester United player, but he knows him very well, and they used to go out and stuff and whatever. Anyway, apparently they were out playing poker one night after this player had left Manchester United. He'd left Manchester United. He was I'll tell you this, he was an academy product of Manchester United, but he did play for the first team, and he played for the first team for quite a while, and then went out on loans, and eventually got sold and stuff. And years, I'm talking like 3-4 years after this player had left the club, they were all sat around playing poker, my brother and this lad, and he said his phone just went, and he looked and he was like face dropped almost, and he answered the phone. He said, "Hiya, boss," and he spoke, and it was Alex Ferguson phoning him up to just ask how he was doing and how's life, and I'm just checking in to make sure you're still looking after yourself, you're looking after your fitness, your health. It gets harder as you get older. You're still behaving yourself. Look after your money, all that. Like, just basically phoning him up, but a bit of a telling off, but a check-in phone call. And I thought, you know what, that changed my perception, because I always knew Alex Ferguson was a good manager. But almost that he sees players who he's had and looked after, even if they've not stayed at the club for very, very long, he took an interest in them beyond their time at the club. So I always thought that was really nice of him. Onye, his name is Nick Voltermade, a striker from Stuttgart. He's 23. He could mould into a really good striker. Oh yeah, Voltermade we know. We've been talking about Voltermade loads. Liverpool aren't going to sign him. He's agreed a deal with Bayern, hasn't he? But he's a very good player. Very, very good player. Botafogo coming forward here. Oh, it's so slow, so slow. Voldemort is proper jinky, looks a handful. Temps, what channel is it on, mate? It's on DAZN, mate. DAZN. You can watch it for free on DAZN. You just need to download the app. Yeah, or you can watch it on the website for free as well. Ostermorg, I still want Stiller, just don't see it happening though. I'd love Stiller. Yeah, I'd love Stiller. He'd be great, wouldn't he? Hugo, good afternoon from Girona, Spain. Hola, love it, absolutely. Buenos tardes. I would absolutely love a trip to Girona. Love a trip to Girona. Absolutely beautiful part of the world. Temps, favourite foreign team. Well, I'm a Liverpool fan over here for what it's worth, but in terms of favourite foreign team, probably... I like Betis. I like Fiorentina. I like Malaga. I like Auxerre. I haven't really got a... Yeah, I don't know. Jake, Man United fans at it now. They're saying they're in the race for Isaac too. Oh, mate, that's like me saying I'm in the race for, you know... I've phoned Margot Robbie up and asked her if she wants a date. There's no way Isaac is going Man United. No way. He will come Liverpool though. He will come to Liverpool. He's definitely coming to Liverpool. If he puts that transfer request in, it's done. It's done. Jake, I like Dortmund. I don't mind Dortmund. Yeah, I don't mind Dortmund. Temps, you can't afford him, mate. We can, of course we can afford him. 110, 120 million, we'll get him for that. We'll get him for 120. He'll put a transfer request in. Job done. Job's a good one. Ostermarg, I used to, till I heard the president say he'd rather Vert go to Bayern than Pool. Temps, it'd cost 150. It wouldn't be 150. There's no way it'd be 150. You can't charge 150 for a player who wants to leave the club. And that's going to be Newcastle's problem. That's going to be Newcastle's problem. Ben, finished the line. She came from Greece. She had a thirst for knowledge. She came from Greece. She had a thirst for knowledge. I think that's something I've never seen before. Oh, yeah, no, I mate, that's not a song that I would have known. I know which song it is now. I've just googled it. Temps, not great talking about players of other teams saying put a transfer request. What do you mean not great? He will put a transfer request in. He will put a transfer request in. Of course he will. Of course he will. He's not going to win anything at Newcastle. We keep going over this, but he's not going to win anything at Newcastle. Newcastle fans keep telling me he's going to leave next season. Maybe next season he'll leave, but not this season. But then you ask him what they're going to do this season. The answer's, well, you know, we might finish it top 5 again. Maybe we'll have a good cup run and we'll finish it top 5. Come on, that's not what Isak's after. It's not what Isak's after. He wants to win the big things. He wants to win the Premier League and the Champions League. He won't do that at Newcastle. That's it. Job done. He needs to leave, and he is going to leave. I'm sure he will. There's no way at all he stays at Newcastle beyond absolute best. I mean, I'd be amazed if he stayed this season. I would be amazed if he stayed this season. But if he does, he's certainly going next season. And yeah, I don't know. I'd be puzzled. I'd be really, really puzzled because he's looking at all these signings temps. This is what we keep saying. He's looking at all these players who are rejecting Newcastle as well. You know, all these players Newcastle are rejecting. Or getting rejected by, sorry. All these players that are rejecting Newcastle and they're getting turned down and they're struggling for PSR. You know, every other team's kicking on. Newcastle aren't. What's he going to do? He's not going to win anything. He's not going to win anything. Howard Moon, don't you think this kind of backing is a bit unfair to Klopp? Not at all, no. Klopp, it's basically Klopp chose this. Klopp chose not to spend. Temps, who's rejecting Newcastle? Well, Gain and Burmo has done. Gain and Burmo both rejected Newcastle. PSR is all sorted, mate. Showing yourself up here. I'm sure, mate. Go and have a look at Ornstein. Ornstein have already said it. They've already said it. Ornstein and chance for Palmeiras over the bar. Yeah, they've all said it this morning. This morning they've been saying that Newcastle's PSR is very, very tight. They're really, really snug for cash, and they're still going out and spending for Trafford and Pedro and stuff like that. Elanga, João Pedro, Trafford. What is that telling you? If nothing else, it's telling you that Newcastle are expecting a big amount of cash to come in. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. They're already planning for a big windfall. They're just getting the ducks in a row first. Temps, we never bid for them now. How can they reject us? Well, again, Ornstein would disagree. Ornstein would disagree. Lettieri, Giovanni, Nunes for Napoli. Yep, good signing for Napoli, that. Very good signing. Ostermorg, Liverpool was rejected by Zubimendi and we didn't bid for him. Exactly, there you go. That's it. That's it. Temps, we've been stuck for PSR last 3 seasons, not this season. Well, again, you're choosing the wrong person to pick the argument with, mate. I've not said it. Ornstein has. So I would argue he's a lot more, you know, clocked in and wired into the club than we are. And he's arguing that Newcastle are very tight for PSR. And that is a factor in their decisions over this season and this summer. So if that is indeed the case, which, to be honest, it's not a surprise. There's only 4 or 5 clubs spent more than Newcastle over the last 5 years. Newcastle have spent an absolute fortune in the last 5 years. More than City, more than Liverpool. You know, and it's unlikely, actually, that Newcastle can spend a whole lot more this summer unless they get a big windfall coming in. Temps, Sky Sports said 150 million transfer budget this season. Temps, Liverpool have spent absolutely loads of money. We spent less than Newcastle. We spent less than we spent less than Newcastle over the last 5 years, including the 100 million we've just spent, or the 180 million or whatever it is we've just spent on Wirtz, Kerkez and Frimpong. We're still spent less than you over the last 5 years. 27, what do you think of the rumours of Eze going to Arsenal? I'd be amazed if he did. Arsenal are being linked with every left winger known to man. They're being linked with Gordon. They're being linked with Eze. They're being linked with Rodrigo. They're being linked with Ademola Lookman. You know, all these players they're being linked with. And yeah, I don't think Eze is the one necessarily for him. He's 27. He's the wrong side of 25. And 70 million quid feels a lot. Jake, Klopp spent $1 billion, Key. While you had the 1 billion squad, Newcastle had a net spend of 0 in a decade. Well, I know he didn't spend $1 billion. He didn't spend $1 billion. And like I said, Newcastle, you've been down there. You've been down there. You've been managed badly by Ashley for many years, as well as you've talked about, Jake. Klopp literally spent $1 billion, man, living off the Coutinho money. We haven't spent anything in the last 15 years before we got took over. Well, again, look, the numbers are there. The numbers are there. There's only Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United and Spurs spent more than Newcastle over the last 5 years. Liverpool, I think, are 9th in that table. 9th. We're behind Wolves and West Ham. So Liverpool are doing it sustainably. We're fine. We're selling players. We're getting good money in for our players. We're balancing the books. We're doing everything we can. It's you guys. You guys are the ones who need to get your ducks in a row. Jamie, hopefully Botafogo don't win. Yeah, mate. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. Temps, you think City haven't spent more than us? Jesus. No, it's not that I think. It's not that I think. I know. It's not that I think. I know. It's clear. It's black and white. Man City have spent less than Newcastle in the last 5 years. It's very, very clear. Crystal clear. Newcastle have spent more than Manchester City in the last 5 years. Yes. There's no opinion on that. It's very, very clear. SLS 16, this is going to penalties. John, what happens if the game stays 0-0? If it goes to 0-0, then it's extra time and penalties, which I think would be probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Because it's been absolutely shocking. It's been so bad. So bad. Just to let you know, the top 5 clubs that have spent on transfers: Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Man City and Spurs, and that's a fact. That's not true. That isn't true. That's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true. And by the way, I have got the 10-year figures, by the way, if you want to look, because you've just said you said the last 10 years Liverpool have spent. That's also not true, by the way. In the last 10 years, Newcastle have spent more than £200 million more than Liverpool. £200 million more than Liverpool in the last 10 years. True story. And how much we've won in that time. So you talk about being financially mismanaged, you want to look at your own club. You want to look at your own club. I've just searched it. That's the order in the last 5. No, it's not. Well, I've just looked at the last 10. I'll do the last 5 for you. The last 5, Liverpool are 301 million we've spent in the last 5 years. Newcastle have spent 421. So 301 compared to 421. That's how much you've spent in the last 5 years. 421 million compared to 300 million. Great ball in, cleared away by Botafogo. Temps, you have to remember your squad compared to ours, man, doesn't take a genius. Well, hang on a minute. What was our squad in 2015, mate? What was our squad in 2015 before Klopp took over? Do you remember when we had Divock Origi and Jordan Ibe and Lucas in midfield, and Mignolet, and we had Adam Bogdan, and we had Sacco and Lovren, and we had Alberto. We didn't even have Alberto Moreno, did we? We had Christ. Honestly, you look at Lazar Markovic starting games. You look at Liverpool's 2015 squad. We've spent £120 million less than you in the last 5 years. We've spent nearly £200 million less than you over the last 10. You've spent a fortune. You've spent a fortune. Stop hiding behind this PSR nonsense. Newcastle have spent an absolute fortune and you've wasted it. There's only a few clubs worse than Newcastle at wasting money. You know, United, Chelsea, fine. United, Chelsea, Arsenal probably up there as well. Spurs, I still think Spurs' squad, even though they've not done as much. Well, they have actually. I mean, they've won more than Newcastle, haven't they? But what I'm saying is they've in that time, they've at least accumulated a good young squad. They've spent players. They've got players like Bergvall and Archie Gray and Kulusevski. They've got good quality young players. It's not been the case with Newcastle. You spent 40 million on Harvey Barnes, for God's sake. He's not 40 million pounds worth. 40 million on Barnes, 40 million on Botman. And all these players are just not worth that anymore. Just not worth it. Spent nowhere near it. Come on, Key, this is proper clutching at straws, mate. Fitting time frame to suit the narrative. I'm a fitting the time to... Mate, I've said the last 5 years and then I've said the last 10. I've literally done it over the longest period possible. The last 10 years, Newcastle have spent more than Liverpool. The last 5 years, Newcastle have spent more than Liverpool. What more do you want? It's there in black and white. It's not an opinion. It's absolutely crystal clear. It's there. Newcastle have spent far, far more in the last 5 years and the last 10. Liverpool had a shocking squad in 2015. We were still being managed by Brendan Rodgers at that point. Klopp hadn't even arrived. That is why we have been ran much better. That's simply all it is. Better. But much, much better. On and off the club. Jake, but you spent 1 billion while Newcastle spent nothing. Well, maybe we did. Yeah, maybe we spent 1 billion while Newcastle spent nothing. But that's mad. You must have caught up at some point because you've still spent more than us, haven't you? For us to have spent 1 billion at some point and you haven't spent anything... In that time, you still spent more than us. So how does that work? How does it work? Temp saying we don't have good players. Are you daft? I've not said you've not got good players. I've not said you've not got good players. I've said Newcastle need a lot more than Spurs do. Put it that way. Spurs, I think, take Isak out, Spurs are a better team than Newcastle. Spurs are a better... In fact, all over. Spurs are a better team than Newcastle. Better squad. Definitely. Not even close. Poorly managed last season, but better than Newcastle. They'll finish above Newcastle as well. Temps talking about bad finances when you spent 80 million on Núñez. We did spend 80 million on Núñez. We'll get 60, 70 back for him, mate, as well. That's good. That's good business sense for Liverpool. We have mitigated our losses. We'll spend big and we'll get money back. You spend big, you lose the money. We spend big and we win trophies with our flops. Naby Keita was 50 million quid. He came in, he won everything at Liverpool. That's what happens. The PSR excuses are embarrassing from Newcastle. Totally agree. Totally agree. How do I unsubscribe? I've heard enough. Listen, the Spurs squad, listen, let's go through them then. Let's go through them bit by bit, right? Romero and Van der Ven, better centre-backs than Newcastle's, yeah? We'd agree? Better centre-backs than Newcastle's. They are, the better centre-backs. Newcastle, far better squad than Spurs. I disagree. I think Spurs have got a far better squad than Newcastle. Well, no, not far better. Maybe not far better, but better. And I think we'll see that play out this season. Maybe listen, come back to me. Come back to me at the end of the season. I think we'll play it out this season. I think Spurs will finish above Newcastle this season. Jake, I'd have Botman over Romero. Yeah, but you would, mate. Jake, I love you. You know I love you, mate. But seriously, you also have said that there's nothing Isak can win at Liverpool. There's nothing that Isak could do at Liverpool that he couldn't do at Newcastle. So, like, with the greatest of respect, dude. Oh, Temps, we've got arguably the best midfield in the league. I'm not sure about that. It's a good midfield. Bolts Baller, Burnley staying up with their defence. So they've lost a big key player in the defence, haven't they? Ionics, to be honest, I'd say Newcastle has a stronger squad than Spurs. I'd say Newcastle have got a better attacker in Isak. But I think Spurs have got better wingers. I think Newcastle's midfield, I'd probably have two of them. I'm not sure if I'd have all three. And the defence, I think Spurs' defence is better than Newcastle's. Yeah. Using up found 600, people are judging the Spurs squad because of last season. They came 5th the season before. Temps, Tonali and Bruno start for pretty much all. Tonali and Bruno start for pretty much all teams? No. They don't start for Liverpool, put it that way. They don't start for Liverpool. And I don't think they start for City. Tonali's had a good season last year, but I don't think he starts for either of them two. And I don't think he necessarily starts either of them for... maybe for Arsenal they do. I think Rice, Bruno and Tonali would be a very good midfield. Temps, Tino and Hall, England's fullbacks for the next 10 years. Don't think either of them get into an England squad. I'll go that far. I don't think either of them get into an England squad unless they move. If Livramento goes to City, then he might do, because then he'll be playing at the highest level. But if he stays at Newcastle and Lewis Hall stays at Newcastle, they might as well be looking in the grandparents. Go and look for an Irish passport or a Welsh passport or a Scottish passport. That's the only way they're getting in a national squad. Livramento and Lewis Hall. The only way they're getting in a national team squad. Come on, Burn. Dan Burn starts for England. You just waffle. Dan Burn doesn't start for England. Dan Burn has got into an England squad. And to be honest, he should be nowhere near it. And I don't think he will be beyond this season or this. He won't get into the World Cup squad, will he? He won't get into the World Cup squad. Jackson B. Smith, is Trent a snake? He's a snake for how he went about it. He's not a snake for going to Real Madrid. Yeah, he's a snake for how he went about it. Ben, score prediction for England under 21s against Germany under 21s. England 1, Germany 2, I would say. Akib Money, Chelsea or Benfica prediction. I've got Germany and Benfica to win. I think Chelsea will qualify. Maybe not in 90 minutes, but I think they qualify. And I've got Germany to lift the trophy as well, yeah. Bolts Baller, I think Matheus Nunes will be one of the best right-backs in the world next season, or one of the best full-backs. Well, I don't know. I think City are trying to sign Livramento for an obvious reason, aren't they? It's because he doesn't necessarily trust Nunes at full-back. So he's a very decent player, Nunes, but I don't think he is a full-back. But arguably, Pep Guardiola's argued that he's not a central midfielder either. So it's funny, isn't it, that they've signed him, they've paid this massive amount of money, and they've ended up putting him at fullback. Temps, Lewis Hall, miles better than Lewis Skelly, absolute red card merchant. He's not better than Lewis Skelly, and he's not better than Nico Riley. Nico Riley and Lewis Skelly will both be England's left backs for a long time yet. I don't think that Lewis Hall gets a look in. And then I think if you're looking at the other side, Trent Alexander-Arnold's got 4 or 5 years left in him. Reece James has also got a few years left in him. He doesn't get in. Livramento doesn't get in over either of them unless he's playing for a top team, for a big club that's challenging for all the major honours, and he's not going to do that at Newcastle. So if he moves If he moves to City, then maybe. Yeah, if he moves to City, then maybe. Ionics, is it wild to say I don't think Arsenal will get top 4? Yeah, I don't think it... I think they will get top 4. I don't think it's necessarily wild, though. I know where you're coming from. They are falling away a little bit. Be yourself, Dylan. How's it going? Good to see you, mate. Kyle Walker is done for England. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's done for England. Temps, you've never watched Newcastle, man. This is getting embarrassing, pal. Mate, I've got all the receipts to prove it. I've watched every Newcastle game towards the end of the season. I watched all the Newcastle games before I started this channel. Anytime football's on, Jake will tell you. Jake will tell you. We watch games of footy on this channel, and yeah, that's what we do. So you'll see. I've watched a lot of Newcastle games. Bolts baller, Ferran Torres gets any team aside from Real Madrid. No, he doesn't. Behave yourself. Jake, you had that 200 million on top. Money spent is a chalk and cheese. Pedro Lover, prediction for Flamengo v Bayern. I think Bayern probably 3-1, 3-0. Jake, he does watch the Toom games, just doesn't see it. It baffles me. No, we've watched the England under 21s with Livramento as well, and he's a very decent fullback, but he's not like earth-shatteringly good. He's not like the next incarnation of Dennis Irwin, Ashley Cole. He's a good fullback. Lewis Hall, exactly the same. Was very, very good. Newcastle fans have a tendency to go overboard because it's the first season you've done anything. That's all it is. That's all it's about. And lads, you've got to recognise that. You've got to recognise that you've... Look, and I do it as well. I do it as well from a Liverpool perspective. We have to recognise our own delusions a little bit. You've had an unbelievable season. It's the first time you, your dad, your granddad, your great-granddad have ever won a trophy for Newcastle. Of course, you're gonna over-exaggerate how good the players are. Oh my God, he's basically Pele up front, that lad. He's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just wind your neck in a little bit. You've won a League Cup. You've won a League Cup. You've won a League Cup. Lewis Hall's a good fullback. Livramento's a good fullback. They probably will get snatched from you at some point. The same as Isak. That's all it is. Baz, think it comes home again? No chance. I think Germany take it. Germany take it tonight. Temps, Livramento. Oh, sorry, Temps, where are you from? Where am I from? Where does that matter? Where does it matter where I'm from? Where does it matter where I'm from? Jake knows where I'm from, but where does it matter where I'm from? John Livramento is good, but he's not prime John Terry. Ionics, I'd say Lewis Hall will eventually be an England starter. I'm not uptight. I'm curious as to why you're asking. I am intrigued. Why? I'll tell you. Everyone in the chat literally knows where I'm from. I'll tell you. Jake knows where I'm from. What I'm telling you is, answer me why. Why does it matter where I'm from? Why do you want to know? Be yourself, Dylan. Last comment. What comment did you say? What was the last comment? Was that about Kyle Walker? I said about Kyle Walker. Yeah, Kyle Walker is finished, mate. I do think Kyle Walker's finished. I don't know, so I'm asking. Yes, okay, so why are you asking? Why does it matter where I'm from? What has that got to do with the opinions that where are you from? Where are you from? Everyone in this chat, literally everyone knows where I'm from. I'll tell you. Where are you from? Baz, Viper and Voltamade up front is a madness. Like Isak and Gyökeres, absolute jokes, the pair of them. Temps, I'm from Newcastle. Nice. Okay, so then why does it matter? Why does it matter to you where I'm from? Someone already up and score in this game. Jesus Christ. 4.5 minutes. How many minutes have added on time? Was it 5? Because you're not from Liverpool like the rest of them. How do you know I'm not from Liverpool? How do you know I'm not from Liverpool? Thanks for proving how you reacted to the question, though. No, what you're saying now... listen, I have no shame at all. I've told everyone in the chat where I'm from. I was born 15 minutes from Anfield, mate. I was born 15 minutes from Anfield. Wool? I am a wool. I am a wool. Yeah, I'm a wool. I was born 15 minutes from Anfield. I've been going more... I bet I've been more Liverpool games than you have. I've definitely been more European games than you have, Sunshine. Hey, I've been more European games than you have. Easy peasy. I've been loads of them. Jake, looks like Toon have given up on the race for Pedro and preparing a bid for Xavi Simons. You're not getting Xavi Simons. He's not going there. He's not going fucking Newcastle. Bars, at least the only positive is my bet came in and this is possibly pens. I think it might be extra time first, which is lovely. We've got half an hour. Got to get a train to your home ground. I don't go games anymore, mate, to be honest. I don't go the games anymore. I've got a little girl now. I've got a family. It's far too expensive. So I've been all over Europe. I've got videos and TikToks and everything. I've shown everyone on this channel. I've been Champions League semi-finals in Rome, Champions League quarter-finals, I've been in Porto, I've been in Seville, I've been all over Europe watching Liverpool, all over the world for years and years and years. I've got a little girl now, I don't watch him anymore. So, mate, actually doesn't, you think oh, you've really got me. It doesn't really matter to me, Chief. What do you think about Pogba joining Monaco and now back in football? He's naff, he's rubbish, his career's done, isn't it, to be honest? Ron, how many minutes were added on? It was 5 and it's finished now. It's full time. Full time. Temps, I asked a question and you went defensive, son. You got yourself. I didn't get defensive. How was I getting defensive by asking you why did it matter? You asked me where I'm from and I said why. You said, because you're not from Liverpool like the rest of them. Well, I mean, that one I would say. I mean, I'm not from Liverpool. I've never claimed to be from Liverpool. But I'm no less a Liverpool fan than anyone else. Do you think you're less of a Newcastle fan if you're not from Newcastle? That's an interesting question. Do you think you're less of a Newcastle fan if you're born in, I don't know, maybe let's say you're born in Hull. Let's say you're born in Hull. Are you less of a Newcastle fan? I'd be interested to hear your opinion on that. 100%, you're less of a Newcastle fan if you're born somewhere else. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, cool. At least you're intellectually consistent with it, if nothing else. Don't have the connection. Marco VI, fans a fan, end of. Well, Marco Temps disagrees with you. He thinks that you have to be born within a certain radius of the stadium. And if you're not, then you shouldn't support him. You shouldn't support him. Jake, that's nonsense. No, well, hey, listen, you've got to own your fan there, Jake. You got to own your fan. Temp says you don't have a connection if you're not born within a stone's throw of St James's Park. Marco, absolute nonsense. Pedri Lover, what a game this is. See, Temps, I would argue, and I get where you're coming from now. You got some people, coming at you, mate. But I would say, listen, I've known people fly from like Russia and South Africa and Japan and China, pay thousands and thousands of pounds to come and watch one game of football. Are they any less of a fan? And you might argue that if you can go and watch every single game of the week, then that's great, lucky you. But if you commit to spending, if you maybe book a week off work and you have to fly around the world and take 2-3 flights, pay thousands and thousands of pounds just to come and watch a game of football for 90 minutes, how dedicated do you have to be to do that? That's some going. That is some going. So I mean, I'd just measure a little bit of that. If you're from outside of Newcastle, Liverpool, Webbo, what channel is it on? It's on DAZN, mate. DAZN. Temps, Man United and Liverpool are the worst for it. But, I mean, that's part of being a big club, isn't it? Part of being a big club is that you inherit fans from around the world. That's, it's just a part and parcel of being it. So, Newcastle maybe don't have as many fans from Japan and wherever but that isn't that amazing that Liverpool and Man United and various other clubs have got, and I'm sure Newcastle too, have got people that are so dedicated that would literally cancel plans, fly around the world. Like, that's huge, mate. That's absolutely massive. I think it's a bit disrespectful, that what you've said there. Live as delivers connection. Could be a mum and dad. I was Bermondsey and dad Millwall fan. All mum's side at Arsenal. Or those that stay up at stupid o'clock just to watch the game. Exactly. And look, we've got quite a few of the fans like that on our channel. You know, we've got quite a few. Machina Joe, if you're in, I don't know if you're in, mate, but Machina Joe, he gets up at 3 a.m. and watches games in Australia every day and then gets up and goes to work. What a guy. What a guy. You know, that's, again, dedication. Dedication. Ben, for a mere matter of 28 minutes outside the town. Mad. Yeah, there you go. Mad. If you're born in Durham, you can't support Newcastle because you were born 28 minutes away. Webbo, it keeps saying check your internet connection, but I have internet. Bars, what's your opinion on Moukoko as he's gone to Copenhagen now, hasn't he? Wasn't there an issue with Moukoko, his age? Wasn't there an issue with his age? Sure, someone said there was something with his age and all of a sudden he's gone from being this like wonder kid at Dortmund to signing for Copenhagen for £5 million. Again, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but it does feel like quite a drop. PNC, I don't think Eze is going to Spurs after all. No, nor do I. Right, we're back underway here for the first half of extra time. 0-0, easily the worst game I have seen in many, many, many months. Alsk, when the stoppable force meets a movable object. It's been shocking, mate. Clayton, good to see you. How's it going? Jake, both parents and grandparents, born in Newcastle. I wasn't, but I'm not a Toon fan. That is mental. There you go. See, there you go. You yourself, Jake, you are not a Toon fan by his very rigid definition. Jake, Toon fans pride themselves as saying wherever you are in the world, you'll see a Geordie. Never said not a fan. I said no one has the connection the same if you aren't born here. So there you go. There you go. So basically what you're saying is Jake wasn't born in Newcastle, so he doesn't have the same connection to the club that you do. That's your argument. He doesn't have the same connection to the club that you do because you were born a bit closer to the stadium. That's a rat answer, that, mate. That is a rat answer. I mean, it's maybe not rat answer. It's just stupid. It's just silly. It's just silly. Very silly. But hey, whatever. We're all allowed our own stupid opinions, aren't we? We're all entitled to them. Everyone's got one. So, yeah, that's yours. Own it, mate. Own it. All Wolves. They're all Wolves. Baz Gittins confirmed to Chelsea, by the way. That's no surprise. Jake, you were born in Yorkshire. There you go. So you were born in Yorkshire, but you're not a Newcastle fan with your mate there. You're not a Newcastle fan. What a shame. Alsk, are you watching Benfica v Chelsea? No, I'm not watching Benfica Chelsea. I'm watching England under-21s against Germany under-21s. So we're going to be watching the under-21s final. And then once that goes off, maybe we will watch Benfica Chelsea the second half. Alsk, I'm contemplating watching it because it's going to start at 1:30 a.m. for me. There you go, at 1:30 a.m. Another start, another fan there, 1:30 a.m. Unbelievable. Temps turned it into the Temp show. Jake, Temps man, you're making us all look bad. Who taught you what a wool was? Turkey teeth. Oh my good grief. Baz doing his medical tonight apparently. Lads, listen, let's not get personal. Let's not get personal. He's expressed an opinion, sincerely enough. It's a silly opinion, and we can take the mick out of him for it. But hey, to each their own. Let's not let this descend into ad hominems. We're all big boys. We're all grown up enough. You know, it's all good. No need to take it any further than that. Baz, think we lose narrowly or think a more one-sided game towards Germany? I think Germany smash it, to be honest. I think Germany absolutely smash him. Right, Botafogo corner. Come on, let's get back to the I mean, I would say let's get back to the footy like it's, you know, it's absolutely garbage. Probably wouldn't even be speaking about this, to be honest, if the footy was any good. But hey, we are where we are. Pedri Lover, what national team do you support? What national team do I support? I don't support any national team. I'll just watch footy. If there's footy on, I'll watch it. You know me. If there's footy on, I'll watch it. If there's a national tournament on, then I'll watch whoever's playing. And I don't really... If there's Liverpool players in the national team, they've got my support. That's pretty much it. Alsk, please tell me compared to Benfica v Chelsea so I can have an idea of my time. The under-21 match is an hour earlier, so if you're saying it's 1:30 for the Benfica-Chelsea kickoff, it can't be 1:30, surely not. No, it starts... Benfica-Chelsea starts at 9 in the UK, so it starts in 2 hours' time, whereas England starts in 1 hour. Steve Keane, evening Key, big decision tonight, England under 21 or Chelsea? No big decision for me, mate. I'm going to be watching England for sure. England first, and then maybe we will watch Chelsea straight after that. A little bit annoyed that this one's gone to extra time, to be honest. Because it's been absolutely shocking. It's looking like it's going to go to penalties. Alsk, I'm currently watching Squid Games. Nice. Enjoy. Enjoy. A big reminder as well, by the way, if people haven't yet, please do get over to YouTube, like and subscribe, Premier League Dad. It takes you 2 seconds, but please do get over and support. We've got competitions coming up over the next couple of, well, maybe not the next couple of weeks, but certainly the next couple of months. Next month, actually, not next couple of months. Next month, we've got competitions coming up to win a T-shirt, win a Premier League Dad. The first official, hot off the press, limited edition Premier League Dad merch. Got a T-shirts and other bits coming out. So, yeah, if you want to win one of them, you need to be getting over to YouTube. Give us a like and a follow, Premier League Dad, subscribe, and, yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Steve, good luck to the English under-21s tonight in the final against Germany. I still think Germany nick it, mate. John, imagine if the penalties went on until the under-21s game finished. It's honestly, it's been one of the worst games I think I've ever seen. Kieran, does any of these teams look like they want to win? Not really, no. There's been about 4 shots all game. It's been dreadful. Gav, we've got a here we go for Gittins. Didn't know nothing about him a year ago, did you, mate? Oh, you didn't know anything about him a year ago, did I? I did know about him a year ago, but he has kind of come on the scene quite quickly. I don't think he's going to be all that, though, for Chelsea. If I'm really honest, mate, I think you've kind of replaced Madueke with Madueke. Assuming Madueke goes, I think you end up getting Madueke. Yeah, Madueke goes and that'll be it. Pedri Lover, I think you have a slight issue with South American football. No hate, though. Why do I have a... Mate, come on, Pedri. Listen, are you trying to tell me this is anything other than an absolutely disastrous game? It's shocking. It's an absolutely shocking game. Jake, I like the look of Adeyemi. Yeah, Adeyemi's a good player. Stan, I hope the youngsters bring it home. Baz, I'm surprised Estevao only got 60. Thought he'd get 85 or so minutes. A claim for the handball here now from Palmeiras. There's a claim for the handball. There's going to be a check as well. I wonder. You're not getting handball for that. Get out of town. You're not getting handball for that. Baz, with all due respect, it's not been great, as you said. Pedro Lover, it's not great, but I think you've been a bit harsh saying one of the worst. Well, listen, you say I've got an issue with South American football. I think you've got an issue with South American football. I think you're excessively in favour of South American football, when actually every single data we've seen from it this season, and certainly in this tournament, has been that it's been garbage. Absolutely garbage. Jake, Eddie is adamant he wants Premier League players. Those linked abroad seems to be better and cheaper. I don't understand it. Well, you're going to have to pay more for them. That's where the Saudi tax will come in, you know, especially in the UK. Baz, the only entertainment will be if it gets pens. I think we will get penalties. It's looking like it's going to go to penalties. You know, we're 9 minutes in. Jake, some real gems over in South America, though. Are there? Are there? Who? Who's the gems in South America? All the gems in South America all seem to have been signed up by British teams who when they've signed, they've ended up being crap. Kendry Paez, Estevao, Jair, Igor Jesus, or whatever his name is for Botafogo. Like, there's a lot of players who are in this tournament who have or are about to sign for English teams, and we'll see how good they've been. But you know, look at Franca at Crystal Palace. He was good in Brazil. He's crap. Look at the Luis Guilherme for what a goal that is though. What a goal that is. Palmeiras have scored it. Now that was a bit of Brazilian magic, to be fair. It's 1-0. It's 1-0. It's an absolute stunner, that. A lovely goal from Paulinho. And isn't it funny? I mean, Paulinho, at least if nothing else, we talk about players who maybe haven't quite been at it and whatever, but Paulinho is a player who has thrived in Europe previously. Paulinho was a player for Bayer Leverkusen who was very, very highly thought of, very highly rated, didn't really settle in Europe, has now gone back to Europe, and he started to perform again back in Brazil, but he's still only young, he's still only 24. He was a very, very talented player for Bayer Leverkusen back in the day. Jaime Gabriel Macu plays for Grêmio, under 20. I'm not saying Brazil won't ever produce good players, but the overwhelming majority of players who come out of the Brazilian league, they tend to... Oh, it took a big deflection. That's why it went in. Pedro Lover, I do love South American football, to be fair, mate. I know you do, I can tell. Any slight on the South American game and you're like, oh, it's not that bad, it's good, it's really good. Jake, I get that, Kee, I just can't understand why he's so adamant. Pedro Lover, Mastantuono, Richard Rios. I mean, Mastantuono, again, remains to be seen. Mastantuono's 45 million quid they've paid for him, Real Madrid. Maybe he goes to Madrid and he's not anything, he's not all that, you know. Still time. Reece Crownshaw, England lineup looks good this evening. Yeah, 45 minutes till England kick off. Stan reckon Benfica do an upset tonight. I don't. John waiting an hour and 40 for England for a goal is ridiculous. Yeah. And it's been shocking, hasn't it? It has been absolutely shocking. There's no getting around it. Benzo, do you think England versus Germany BTTS? Yes, it'll be BTTS. BTTS, but Germany win. Jake, where did Temps go? I had to dash off. Did he come to his sense in the end? No, he started throwing ad hominems around a little bit. And I just reminded everyone. I said, listen, let's not get into personal attacks and personal insults. We don't need to do all that. You've expressed an opinion. Some people don't like it. I don't agree with it. We're all grown-ups. We're all big. We're all big boys. We can all move on. No need to be starting throwing around dodgy insults anyway. Arthur Cabral is coming on. He's another player who didn't quite thrive in Europe. Arthur Cabral. Benzo, why Germany win? They've just got a better team. Yeah, they've just got a better team. Voltamade, Viper, just a far better team than England, to be honest. Stan, if Pedro goes Newcastle, could that mean Isak is leaving for us? We won't get into that again, but we have talked about this a lot on the channel, and I will say, yeah, I do think that is a very good chance. Ostermark, Hendrick hasn't done that much as well, has he? Hendrick, yeah, another one. There's lots of them. There's lots of them over the years we can name, we can throw out who had big potential. Kerrison, Vitor Roque, yeah, Curlon. Lots of players. Lots of good ones who've come out as well, but I would argue the vast majority have been pretty poor. Jake, you sent it my way, Kee. I'm close to Hull, you bastard. I didn't know you were close to Hull. I just threw that out of nowhere, so I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. It's no attack on Hull. Hull's nice. Well, it's alright for Hull, like. It's okay. It's about as good as where I am, anyway. Pedro Lover, do you think we see another goal in this? I mean, we've not seen a goal... We've not seen a goal all night. I'd be brave to say there's going to be another one. Benzo, but we've got Oscar Bob, Harvey Elliott and Jay Stansfield. Oscar Bob doesn't play for England. Oscar Bob's Norwegian, mate. He doesn't even play for England. Where's Oscar Bob come from? Depends on James McAtee. Sorry, not Oscar Bob. Yeah, I mean, James McAtee, Harvey Elliott, Jay Stansfield. Stansfield hasn't really done much in this tournament. James McAtee hasn't really done much. You know, and I would say Harvey Elliott has been the star of the tournament for England. Harvey Elliott and Cresswell and Kwanzaa at the back, they've been very, very good. Jake, I'm not in Hull, Christ. I'd live on the streets before I went to Hull. That's harsh. Stan, Harvey Elliott's being the dominant one. Chimey, oh, we've done that one, sorry. Right, it's a corner kick here. Palmeiras claiming again for a penalty. Stan, sad he's leaving though. Yeah, it is sad he's leaving, but I think it's the right thing, isn't it? It is the right thing. That is a handball, that. That is a handball. It's no penalty. No penalty. Pedro Lover, they've got a case on this one. No, because he was sliding. So the rules are, if you're sliding and you're using your hand for leverage to keep you up, then it isn't a penalty. It did hit his hand, but you can't give that a pen. If you give penalties for that, you'd give penalties for everything. Stan, he deserves to play. Yeah, absolutely. Good for his career to be a starter, says Ostermorg. That's exactly it, isn't it? That is exactly it. Botafogo clear it away. Palmeiras back into the box. Over the bar. 2-2, easy. Right, come on. Hurry up. Get this game wrapped up and quick. I am fed up of this nonsense. Stadium bouncing finally, mate. It's been so bad. So bad. Hillary Timer, you goon. Sorry, mate. Sorry. It's because I keep turning the thingy off. There you go. Timer's back on. Palmeiras cleared it away. Botafogo shot. The last thing we want is a Botafogo goal. A Botafogo goal. The last thing we want is a Botafogo goal. Pedro Lover, thoughts on Wessam Abu Ali potentially going to the Prem? I've never heard of him. Never heard of him. I won't pretend like I do. Wessam Abu Ali. Where's he from? The New York Red Bulls. 26 years of age. Denmark striker. Oh, he's not. He's Palestine, isn't he? Well, he's Denmark under 20. He's played for Palestine as of the last 12 months. No, he's not going, mate. He's not going to the Premier League. He plays for Al Ahly. Plays for Al Ahly. I can't see him going to the Premier League. He's Al Ahly starter. He's a good player. He played against Iraq, where I'm from, and he's good. I know, but to be honest, there's very, very few players made the change from, you know, Egyptian League to Premier League, and you know I mean, you think about like Amir Zaki, for example. Amir Zaki came from Zamalek. He was very good, but he, you know, he was only very good for a short time, and then, you know, he left. So I don't think that he ends up coming to the Premier League. And to be honest, there's an argument as well. I think there's maybe a political argument as well with that. There's probably quite a few clubs in the Premier League who wouldn't want to get embroiled in the whole. Yeah, I don't know, because there's not many Palestinian players about, are there, in the Premier League? There's not many Israeli players about in the Premier League, so it feels like maybe that's a contentious issue that clubs just don't want to touch for whatever reason. Kieran, did you have bets on this game, mate? I didn't know. I didn't touch it. It is half time, Hillary. Yeah, let's reset the clock. Solomon is the only one I can think of. Yeah, Manor Solomon. But even he's left Spurs, hasn't he? Even he's not really at Spurs. He came in at Spurs on a free, and he moved him on pretty quickly. He ended up at Leeds, and he probably ends up staying at Leeds, I would imagine. But yeah, I there's not an awful lot, and who knows why that is? I don't know. Pedro Lover, he's been tearing up the Egyptian League in the World Cup. Apparently, West Ham want him. He's not been tearing up the World Cup. He's not played at the World Cup. Benzo, here's what I got so far. Chelsea, Benfica, BTTS, and Germany, England, BTTS. Do you like these picks? Yes, I do, and I would add Chelsea to qualify, Germany to lift the trophy as well. Oh, sorry, you mean this with Al Aklier, sorry. Michael, what was the goal like? It was a very good goal. Took a slight deflection, but it was a good goal from Paulinho. But I'll level with you, Michael. This is amongst one of the worst games I think I have ever watched. Yeah, one of the worst games I have ever watched. It's been dreadful. Adama, you not covering England under 21s, buddy? Yes, we are, mate, but we committed stupidly, absolutely stupidly, we committed to watching this one. And it's gone to extra time. So I'm hoping that they finish it up in 15 minutes and we can get going with England. Benzo, he's talking about World Cup qualifiers, but Palestine haven't done anything. Wow. Right, okay. Like I said, I just think 26 playing in the Egyptian League, he's probably not going to be targeted by Premier League teams. He's far more likely to be targeted maybe by Championship teams. Maybe a Championship team would take a punt on him. Benzo, I'm going to watch the England match with you, mate. You got a new follower. Cheers, Benzo. Good to have you on anyway, mate. Really good to have you on. Kieran, just random. You can only choose one, a roast dinner or an English breakfast. Ooh, definitely a roast. Definitely a roast. See, I'm not a lover of bacon, to be honest. I don't love bacon, so I could leave bacon. And I don't really love, like, fried, like, you know, the other stuff that you get on an English breakfast, like fried bread and that stuff. I could leave that. I like eggs. I like sausage. Black pudding, haggis. Could do all that. But other than that, I can leave the rest. Bacon, tomato. Not really my cup of tea, to be honest. Whereas on a roast, a lamb roast dinner with a bit of gravy, Yorkshire pudding, boiled potatoes, carrots and turnip, bit of broccoli, lovely. Benzo, are you Scouse? I'm not Scouse, no, mate. I'm from just outside Liverpool. So some people detect a Scouse twang, but I'm not. If Scousers come on, they know I'm not Scouse. I'm from just outside Liverpool, but I've supported Liverpool all my life. So I'm not a Scouser, but I'm from just outside Liverpool. I am a Liverpool supporter. Yes, I am a Liverpool supporter. Chimey, Key, forget PES 21. You have to see EAFC with a realistic gameplay mod. I want to get one of the mods for EAFC, to be honest. That'll be great. Nearly for Botafogo, says Pedro Lover. Benzo, I support United. Commiserations. Jake, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, mashed roast potatoes and roast beef for me. Loads of gravy. See, cauliflower I can live without. Cabbage is very nice. But you've got to have carrots and turnips. You don't have carrots and turnips. Carrots and turnips is the best ever. My missus makes these wonderful carrots and turnips when we have a Sunday roast, and she puts a little bit of honey in and a little bit of butter, some pepper, mashes it all together. Oh my god! Tiny little knob of butter, not too much. Just a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt and pepper, and not even salt, just pepper, to be honest, but cracked black pepper, and a little spoonful of honey. Oh my days. Trust me. Botafogo are in. Pulled it back. Chance. Very nearly 1-1. Stan, I'm from St. Helens, but not Scouse. I'm from St. Helens. That's where I'm from, mate. Yeah. I'm from St. Helens. It's a small world. Lee 93 into Miami PSG score. You think 4-0 PSG? Jake can't wait for tomorrow now. See, do you have them every Sunday? This is the thing. We're not having them every Sunday at the minute. We're kind of, because long story, but I'd quite like to get back to having them every Sunday. I'd love to. I might speak to the missus tonight and say to her, listen, we need to sort one out. We need to sort a roast out. Benzo, we will be back. I've no doubt you will. Yeah, I've no doubt you will be back. Jake, carrot and turnips. Parsnips, not too bad either. Parsnips? You're too posh for me if you're having parsnips. They just taste like funky potatoes. Briley, you've got the twang. I'm from Manchester. I'm a wool. As far as they're concerned, I'm a wool. Jake, I have 2 roasts a week. You are what you eat. We have a chicken dinner midweek. That's so good. That is so good. Parsnips come out at Christmas. See, the sprouts come out at Christmas. And I mean that in the specifically food way. The sprouts come out at Christmas. I don't touch the sprouts. I won't eat sprouts. But my dad loves sprouts. And I've got to say, sprouts, they are just fuel. Just absolute fuel for my dad. Because he drops them all around the house. He's like a, they're just like little bags of smelly compressed air, aren't they? Sprouts. And when he has them on Christmas, stay away. Stay away. Almost, you get like a 1 hour warning after he's finished eating, and then we're off. Leave. Get away quick. Because the house is going to be an exclusion zone after that. Pedro Lover, pretty obvious, but Messi or Ronaldo, I don't have a clear answer for that. I don't have a clear answer. I think both are very, very good, and I can't separate the two. Jake, all the extra trimmings come out at Xmas. Stan, I want pre-season to come already. Got a ticket for Preston away, 13th of July. Nice. Deep deal. We're going to be watching that on here, mate. I'm going to do that game on here. Benzo, boss, I took Chelsea to qualify. I don't want to bet against England. My heart won't let me. Jake, at times Ronaldo, at times Messi. It's as simple as that. I mean, look, I just think it's a bit mad when you get people arguing that it's as close as, what's this? Does this World Cup count as 24-25 or 25-26? Well, it's neither. I think it's not part of. I guess it would be part of the 25-26 season because it's after the 24-25 season has ended, hasn't it? Although in theory these players go away on holiday after this, so they would argue it's last season. John, Doku or Saka? Saka, easy. Briley, Ronaldo's the GOAT. Benzo, Benfica will give Chelsea a game. I don't think they will. I think Chelsea have got Benfica. They've got them easy. Adama, once a fortnight roast, perfect. Don't get fed up of them, mucker. Farts on sprouts. Farts on sprouts are absolute fuel. Stay away. Pedro, hopefully they add more qualifying games for the Club World Cup so we get more games. Oh God, no. I think that's the worst thing they could do. I think that's the absolute worst thing they could do. Stan, I want to try and go more European aways this season because I only went San Siro and Parc des Princes. Nice. Yeah, try and do it while you're young before you've got a family. They were some of the best days I ever did watching Liverpool. Going to Seville, going to Rome, going to Porto, Anderlecht, all over the place we've been watching Liverpool. And yeah, the exact 17, mate. Trust me, get as often as you can. Go and watch Liverpool away. It's the best. It's absolutely brilliant. Try and do it as often as you can. It's so good. So good. Yeah, try and get the best. Like I said, I've got a little girl and a family now, so I can't really do it. Can't justify it. Pedri, I just don't think there's enough games right now. They have to find something. You don't think there's enough games? I think there's too many. Ben, was the game you went away at Porto where we battered them in the orange kit? I think it was. Yeah, it was the one. It was the 5-0. It was the 5-0, and it was the one where Salah scored the first goal, and it was in the 6-yard box. It was one of them where it was a shot, and it kind of bobbled up, and the keeper missed it, and it went in. Yay, Jake! Thank you for that, mate. Really appreciate that. Star and I went every single away except Ipswich, Southampton in the Cup, and Wolves. Nice. Good work, man. Dedication. Ben, yes, we beat them in the orange kit. I think it was the orange kit. The days of Bobby Moe and Mane, the days. Yeah, it was a great game, that. It's a great game. And to be honest, it was absolutely bouncing it down in Porto that night. There was literally rivers running through the Estadio do Dragao. That is how much rain was coming down. It was so bad. And we were all a little bit, not jet lagged as such, it's not far, but we were all a little bit like hungover and whatever from the flight. And after the game, the one thing I remember is we beat Porto. We beat them, I think it was 4 or 5-0. I think it was 5-0 in the first leg. We absolutely smashed them. And then we finished the game, and we were walking back to our Airbnb. And we somehow, I don't know why, we decided to go for like a sit-down meal. And we had like a full-on like steak dinner. It was like a proper roast dinner, like a steak roast dinner, in this restaurant in the middle of Porto. It must have been 11:45, quarter to midnight, maybe midnight. And we were sat down eating this full-on meal. There was me and 4 or 5 lads. It was absolutely brilliant. Benzo, that shirt they had that season when they won the Champions League is iconic now. Yeah, absolutely. D. Nickel, what time's the England game? It kicks off in 24 minutes precisely. John, has anyone else scored? No, it's still 1-0 to Palmeiras. Botafogo are they're kind of huffing and puffing, but I'm not really holding out much hope here. I'm not holding out much hope. Oh, it's a straight red for the Palmeiras player here. Straight red for Palmeiras with 5 minutes to go. Christ, someone had a card in this one. A red card in this, but there you go. Straight red. Benzo, Chelsea BTTS, Chelsea to qualify, Germany BTTS, and a baseball pick. Let's do this. It's a red card. Palmeiras down to 10 for the last few minutes. And Gustavo Gomez. It's not a straight red, actually. It's a second yellow, but he has gone off. It's a red card. The referee's telling him on his bike. On your bike, son. Get off the pitch. Get off the pitch. Come on, hurry up. We want to finish the game. Last thing we want. Pedro Lover told you there'd be a red. You did. You called it, mate. You called it. Kieran, random question. Has there ever been a friendly match that someone's got sent off in? This one? No, there has been. Yeah, of course there's been red cards in friendlies. Yeah, there has been red cards in friendlies. Stansfield up front again. He's been useless. I wouldn't say he's been useless. He's been... oh, this absolute pleb. Get off the pitch! Look at him walking off. We've got England to watch here. Gustavo Gomez, you rat. Get off the pitch. Shocking. Right, Botafogo are getting us back underway here. They're just knocking it into the box here. Knocking it long with every chance they've got. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's how bad this get. This guy's just had a shot like 20 mile over the bar. Ridiculous. I genuinely believe we could get a group of lads in this chat now. There's 50 of us in this chat on TikTok. We've got God knows how many other, maybe a couple of hundred across all platforms we've got in total. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. Wherever you're watching this, X as well. Wherever you're watching this, I guarantee us lot, we could get a group of lads together to beat these two. They're absolutely shocking. Absolutely dreadful. Hillary Coyle, timer's back on. Back on. Thank you for the flag. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know. Ben, Stansfield shot on target, Reeder shot on target, Elliott and Volta made goals. Germany to win, Hinshelwood to commit one foul. Sweet Lord. Sweet Lord. Botafogo down the left-hand side. It's gone out. It's going to be a corner. Going to be a corner. Ben, you'd think this would be big for these sides too. It means a lot to the South Americans, supposedly. Yeah, you'd think so. You'd think so, but no, alas not. Pedro Lovett, if they score here, this would be better. This would be the Battle of Lusail Part 2. Honestly, if they score here, I'm raging, because the last thing I want is penalty kicks. It's gone behind. It's going to be a goal kick. Right, so we've had the full 30 minutes now. How much added time is there going to be? 5 minutes of added on time. Come on. Come on. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap the game up. Let's finish it. Hold on tight. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Massively appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follow. By the way, if you are planning to stick around for the England under-21s v Germany under-21s game, make sure you've gone up. Make sure you've followed up here, by the way. Make sure you've clicked follow. Make sure you've gone over to YouTube, clicked search Premier League Dad, and give us a like and a subscribe over there as well. And we're going to be live again in about 10 minutes. So much for a bit of a change around. I thought I'd get a bit of time in between these two games to, you know, just have a drink, maybe go to the toilet, you know, all that. None of that now. None of that. I've got to change everything round again and get everything set up for the England game. Shocking. Botafogo shot from distance, miles wide. It's going to be a corner. I think it is going to be a corner. Has he give a corner? He has give a corner. Corner to Botafogo here. Could we get a Botafogo goal in the last minute? Could we get a Botafogo goal? Ball whipped in. Far post. Shocking. Drill it. Stood up. It's gone behind. It's going to be another corner. Keeper's got to come forward at this point, surely. Is he? No. No. He's not committing. Corner ball, Botafogo, whipped in near post, shot! Keeper claims it. Oh my god, it's in! Oh no, no, keeper claims it, just about. Just about. Ben, the channel is the final on. It's on channel 4, mate. It's on channel 4. And here's me thinking we might actually get a... They want handball. Of course they do. Of course they do. I'm getting handball for that. Handball. It was the keeper. No, you're not getting handball for that. He just falls on it, doesn't he? Yeah, you're not getting handball for that. Into the last 90 seconds here for Botafogo. They've got to do something quick. They've got an extra man. Can they make it count to drag this into penalties? Honestly, if it goes to penalties, what a disaster this would be for us. It's gone wide. I think that should be it, you know. I think that should be it now. Claydon, what's the score? It's 1-0 to Palmeiras. Palmeiras have had a man sent off. Botafogo chasing the game. There's maybe 60 seconds to go now. Yeah, there's not long left. Really not long left here. And then as soon as this finishes, by the way, again, just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, subscribe on YouTube. Get over to YouTube, Premier League Dad. Subscribe. We're going to be live straight after this. As soon as this finishes, give me 5 minutes to set the stream up, and I'll be back live for England under-21s against Germany under-21s, the final of the under-21s UEFA under-21 Championship. Wojciech! Good to see you, Wojciech. How's it going? Good to see you, mate. I think this could be it now. The ref about to blow. This ref about to blow. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? That's 5 minutes gone. It's going to have to be. Long ball forward. Palmeiras just going to lump it anywhere now. That's got to be it now, ref. Come on. It's got to be it. There you go. They've done it. Right. That's it. Finito Benito. Right. I am going to be back in literally 10 minutes max. 10 minutes max. I'll be live before the kickoff, I promise you. I'll be live before the kickoff of England under-21s against Germany under-21s. Just give me 5 minutes, get a drink, and I'll be straight back. See you shortly.